That smirk.
Alright, so I'll do a quick recap just so we don't... Because a lot of stuff happened last... Or one big thing happened last session. But yeah, so pretty much you all started in the town of Red Lark, went to go find these missing delegates. You uncovered that they all apparently were bearing these amulets, or these pieces of, or these kind of like these individual amulets that seemed to somehow fit together. And they were trying to kind of lay them to quote-unquote rest, some sort of permanent lockdown, as it were. On their way, these delegates were hijacked. You rescued one, acquired her amulet, rescued another, and then that other amulet joined up with the first. And then went back to where the whole delegacy got started, and uncovered that there was some sort of betrayer among the kind of free peoples that was moving this amulet racket, or kind of like sold out these people in a fundamental way. It turned out it was Feather Richard's brother, long lost brother, who was unfortunately disintegrated. Bummer. Family, right? Yeah. So yeah, you all fought Silas, who was kind of the master, like of a tower that was sort of behind some of the initial delegate attacks, and he seems to have gained a lot more strength over that time, and you fought sort of a fire and water. Sort of some very strong fire and water powers. The Queen of the Elves, before kind of sacrificing herself to defend you all, gave you a orb that was resistant to the power, but she mentioned that a sage up in the mountains could tell you where the other that it actually fits in. I don't know if you guys... Do you remember all this? Or,
yeah. Remember there's another piece.
Yeah, so it's like a headstone to a staff. And that other staff is... its location is known by the like a sage that's up in the mountains, whose name Gerald. We can retcon that. He's gonna be Gerald. Gerald the Great Sage, and he's pretty well known from I don't know if you guys... I don't think you all did a history check, but he's relative. Gerald's pretty well known. I don't need to look at his name in the book, because that's better. Jerry. Does he have coffee with comedians in cars?
I was watching that today.
Oh, that's a good one. It's very relaxing.
It is.
Okay. So, you all... As you tried to fight the bearer of these two amulets, he was able to kind of overwhelm you all, and only through the Elf Queen sacrificing herself did you all barely get out of town. You rendezvoused with some dwarves who you unfortunately belegged, but you kind of helped them grow back some baby legs, which was a great step in the right direction towards winning their trust. Which you totally deserve. They don't really realize that we earned it. That destroyed their legs. You're a good cop, baby legs. You're a good cop. You're a good cop. You just can't run fast. I tell you got baby legs. Oh God! All right. So now you all took a long rest in the cave. That these dwarves knew of. It was kind of their hidey hole, because they were sort of like the leadership that sent the delegates out, and they kind of knew things were a bit dicey, so they had prepared kind of a quick escape. So I'm trying to remember the voice I did for the dwarf. But yeah, there's one dwarf, I think it's Bob or Bill, that has the... Bill. I think it's Bill that has his...
Oh no, it was definitely Bob, because
Yeah.
We gotta call a guy with no arms, no legs in the water.
Oh, that's right. It was Bob. Yeah.
What do you call a guy with no arms, no legs, in a pile of leaves?
Hero man.
Well, Russell.
That's awesome. All right. Russell. All right. So let's see if I can get this right. Okay. So yeah, the dwarf leader is Athos, I think. I need to get a pen. Unless I won't write anything down. I'll forget it all. But yeah, so you all are in the cave. You're just waking up. The dwarves look like they are packing up.
Trying to lose weight, Randy.
The dwarves are packing their things as you all stir up out of bed. Paddington has been standing watch at the front of the cave to ensure your all's safety. It's Bob. Bob. And then it was Joe.
Guard.
Okay, so yeah, so the dwarves are starting to pack up. You know, he has one kind of, set of. He throws like a bundle of clothes and gear and food over one shoulder, and he has like a little strap that he jerry-rigged over the night for Bob. He puts baby like Bob over his other shoulder, and he says, "Well, we're heading back to. We're heading back home to."
That place that we call
Shaken by the events, he has forgotten the name of his home.
His own
So let's
home. What a scumbag dwarf. Where's the map?
Fresno.
We're going to
Dwarf
Town now.
Yeah. Bakersfield.
It's the field of bakers.
Where's my map? Oh, it's red large. Ah!
Kill me small.
Feels bad, man.
Just make it up.
I purchased this book on Amazon. I'm dang well going to use some of their names. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
No. That's wrong.
Slide side to side.
Whatever. Dwarf Town.
That's got little flashes, little lightning.
How about Heldor? That sounds like dwarfish, right?
They all have these weird ass names.
Use Matt Mercer's name. Craghammer.
Craghammer. Yeah. Yeah. We'll say Craghammer. That's gonna be an easy win. Craghammer. So we're going back to our home. Craghammer. What's that?
Also, you should make your own original one. You're a writer.
Oh, jeez. I don't suck at names.
Baker's
Just call
Field.
Called out.
Hammer.
Hammer.
Baker's hammer. What about
Mountain trouble.
Mountain Sledge.
what about Heldor?
All right, Heldor it is.
Very good.
Good.
Heldor. Going back to Heldor. It's been. We need to start preparing for what's coming if these amulets have truly fallen into the wrong hands. And they start
look around
walking.
sheepishly at the mention of the ambulance.
I don't think they don't yet realize that you have any sort of thing.
And I give
They have
no
no
reason
idea.
to believe I do.
Yeah, it's a wise choice. He says, feel free to use my name. Next name will do.
Gerald's in the mountains. Gerald's in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah, so Gerald,
Hello?
oh, pizza, the most important thing. So, he says, well, we're heading off,
I'll just be on the corner right there.
let me see.
Just crack the door open. It's easy.
Oh, yeah. We're heading off south.
South. And the mountains are which way?
The mountains are somewhat in that area, but well, I guess you guys don't know. But yeah, yeah. I don't. Do you guys know? I think you all have a vague sense that they're in that general vicinity where the dwarves are heading. But like the dwarves are going further south. You guys are probably stopping along the way.
Shall we accompany them
They have food.
until we reach the mountains?
Let's
I do have one small question for you.
What can I do for you?
There's an old friend that I'm trying to reconnect with. Maybe you can help us out. It's a sage gentleman by the name of Gerald.
Yes, well, he's not too far from here. Maybe a couple of days' journey, 2 days' journey along the same road. But you know, he's a strange chap. How did you say you know him?
Oh, he stopped by my hometown when I was small on his travels. I have since heard he's become somewhat of a recluse, but I've been hoping to hear some of his stories again.
He kind of narrows his eyes and says, that must have been quite a long time ago.
I'm quite old.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I got a 19.
I got a 15 plus something. So persuasion. Ooh, plus 7. So 22.
Alright, so he says, well, you know, you do look quite young, so I must give you benefits of your age.
My kind don't age very quickly.
But they say the sage is an immortal, but something's wrong with him lately.
I hadn't heard many stories of him lately, so I figured it would be the least I could do to follow up and see if he's alright. If you could be so kind as to allow my friends and I to accompany you south and perhaps be a deer and point us in the right direction when we get close.
He says, I think we can do that. Well, if you don't mind, we may as well start traveling. The sun's getting down,
And as you kind of like get to the edge of the cave, or the sun's like just come up, we want to have as much daytime as possible. As you get low. The sun's getting real low. but as you look over at the kind of the exit of the cave, the sun's just coming over the city, but there is just this black smoke coming out of the elven city, and you see that like kind of there's been more almost destruction. Rubble has been left behind.
Where is the plan? Where are we headed?
It sounds like your friends are interested in, at least your silver-tongued friend is quite interested in getting himself out to go visit an old sage named Gerald, who crabby bastard, I'd say.
Just an old friend who needs a checkup, of course.
Yes, and why'd you want to see him, if you mind me asking?
Well, like you had mentioned, not many outside of his general area have heard recently from him, and you know, it used to be that he would travel around, tell his stories, impart his wisdom, and lately I've been told that he has not made it out in many, many years. Yeah. And you know, I fear the worst for him.
He says, that's understandable.
So as you all, so then he's like, well,
we're going to Dwarven Town. We'll try to let them know to muster the guard, and if you need a place to lay low while whatever, and he kind of nods, whatever the elves have unleashed comes for us. If you need a place to keep your heads lower after you stop, let us know.
I thank you very kindly for your hospitality thus far.
And Bob's like, oh, thank you kindly for me legs.
It's the least we could do. It's such a terrible thing to happen to you.
Oh no, those goddamn elves!
I can't believe the elves would stoop to such a level.
They're monsters, they are!
I mean, I can't disagree.
Monstrous elves. And
Can
he
I,
kind of shuffles Bob on his shoulder.
Can I check, has anybody else in the vicinity overheard the conversation?
Yeah, they've been talking in pretty broad tones, so yeah.
Has anybody else, visibly reacted to the name Gerald?
In your party, no. I think, the dwarves kind of have the same reaction of, go ahead and give me a insight check.
First roll with the new die.
Yeah, let's go 20. Let's go 20.
This is the tone. Oh. This is the tone of the entire.
Well, it's going to be a net one now because y'all put some
No,
pressure on it.
What did you say? 17?
All right. So you can tell that they think that this is something's weird about going to see Gerald. But
So they're a little
like,
suspicious.
but they trust him that he knows the guy. He has a connection. Great, like but yeah, they think that like they're kind of like, oh, I want to see that guy. They kind of like.
Alright. Keep my mouth shut.
And so are we sort of doing the like preparations and whatnot to get ready for the travel?
Yeah, like get food, like what do we need for this journey?
Yeah, so the dwarves have enough, like, because that cave has something in the cache. They'd stored some supplies in there. So they have food, water. They don't have any magical items or potions, but there would be a small village on the way. I think it is, we'll just make it Farthington on the way. But there was one on the way.
Is there near things too?
Wow, we're just gonna criticize our names. No, there is a Nearvington, but it's on the other side of town. Yeah.
So the Nearvington is far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how many people, like how busy of an area around us is it right now? Are there loads of
It's
people or?
Yeah, so you got, the cave is relatively far on the outskirts. You can see almost some trains of refugees, maybe about 2 or 3 miles
Don't kill anyone.
out, kind of leaving the city and heading in various directions. And from what your guys' knowledge, it would be like the various, like there's dwarfs kind of heading south towards like the dwarf, towards Heldor. There's elves heading further west, so there's that bigger kind of capital city, and then the humans are going back towards Red Larch in the eastward.
So would it be possible to find a little alcove or something inside this cave that's separate from other people to pull someone aside?
It's a pretty narrow cave. You'd probably have to go outside and step a little ways out. But it's like kind of grassy fields and forest, like kind of forest and hills and stuff like they're stretching out for quite some time till town.
Yeah, we gotta figure out why they're so spooked about this guy. It's probably just weird.
So while everyone's rustling around and getting ready to leave, I'm going to pull Wexley aside.
Okay.
And just say, would you join me for a minute? We have some matters to discuss.
Okay.
And try to leave outside. And
Are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you okay with everybody noticing that you're pulling aside?
I mean, I have
It's
I have no problem with them noticing me pulling aside, because there wouldn't be anything weird about that.
Yeah.
But I would like to be out of earshot.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'll pull them aside and say, look, I've had one of these amulets for a while. I've been able to manage with one. The second one, I fear the two of their power combined may be slightly too much for me at any given time. You seem like the only other one in the group that's a big enough asshole to be able to handle one of them.
Where are you saying this?
And,
the amulets?
They speak telepathically, trust me. You'll know soon enough. And so I would like to take off the second amulet that I got and hand it
thought
to
they
Wesley.
used.
So yeah, give me a strength check.
Can you roll a 50?
Can it be athletics or acrobatics?
This is going to be brute force, I believe.
That is a 10.
So, as you, because you're only trying to take one of them.
I'm only trying to
right?
take one.
So as you start trying to separate their chains, you find. Oh, go ahead.
And can I say, hey, don't just stand there and watch. Help me with this damn thing.
Fine.
It's good advantage.
Oh, so he gets, okay.
Yeah, so it's just
So that's still 10 is still out.
Okay. So as you try to pry the necklace, even with the cleric's help, it shoots back around your neck, and it suddenly tightens, and you suddenly take 8 points of damage. And you kind of gasps and says, and you hear a voice in your head say, "Ah, sir, please do not try to separate me from my brethren." And
Just happened.
yeah.
The damn things won't release from one another. They are apparently want to all be together.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
If it's anything like this, I'm glad it's an ex-wife. And I'll say I'll continue to try, but just know the moment that I can't extricate them from one another, one of them will be headed to a direction.
I have a feeling I don't have a choice in this matter.
I have a feeling you don't either.
As long as it's not Mikhail. Yeah, he won't
This
go
is
hot miles. I kill him.
Hey, but it's your guys' choice. Okay.
Have you guys returned to the cave?
And so we'll come back to
Yeah.
the cave.
Yeah. So I have a question. So you've been very familiar with these amulets we've been hearing of.
Yes, they're quite talkative.
Would you say that the amulets themselves are alive, or that they are allowing you to speak to someone somewhere else?
I wish I could tell you. It seems as though they have a personality all their own. Whether or not that's just being channeled through these amulets, I couldn't tell you. But all I know is they are rather ruthless and rather convinced of joining back together with one another. If you don't know, there's 4 of them, apparently. And they are quite eager to reunite with one another. Who knows what will happen if that should happen, but for now they seem rather attracted to me, as much as I would like to get rid of them.
I know potentially of a way to store them safely, not on a person, which seems to have caused issues in the past.
Please do tell.
Where if they themselves do not happen to be alive, we could potentially try to store them in an ethereal plane my father taught me about.
I do love fatherly ethereal planes.
Yes. Yes. Motherly ethereal planes, not my favorite.
We don't have time for
Too much drama. Too
We
much
don't even
drama.
talk about moms.
You go there, you feel guilty.
Yeah, every time.
Every time.
Don't even take out the trash.
Damn if the meal's not worth it.
Yeah, those cookies.
The laundry that gets done with. Oh,
I love
You're
the
telling
things that
me.
you swear you can't find until another looks that they live in the ethereal plane.
if you wish to be relieved of the burden of these amulets at some point, or we need a safe space to store them, let me know. And
But what if Silas attacks us? Perhaps
I mean,
someone
they
should be in
do
control of
have
us.
their uses. Between you and me, I wouldn't mind getting rid of one of them, but having the second is quite the burden at the moment.
why can't you get rid of one of them?
Oh, they won't let me.
Emotionally or physically?
You just need to get
Yes.
really
Saying you're not
strong.
strong
Yes.
Just get ferocious with them. Pull them apart.
I've tried. It has not ended well for me.
You haven't tried with me.
So then you hear a voice in your head say, "Sir, you are happy to pass us on to another subject, but my brother and I will stay together during that transition."
Excuse me, you will speak when spoken to, and no time other than that.
Of course.
Now go back to sleep.
You haven't
Course,
spoken in a few seconds. Is everything all right?
I'm
He's
just
just staring
I'm
at-
just
he's just
having a
staring at
polite
you.
conversation with my new friends. They say that you are all lovely people, and they're happy to be accompanying you on this journey.
Why does that
sounds so
leave you?
nice.
But you sound so nice.
I
They're
don't-
quite polite.
Yeah.
Well,
Just talking
if
about
we do need to store them somewhere safely,
Should the moment come, I must ask though, how quickly can we retrieve them should we need to?
let me think for a
Let
second.
me inquire from my ancient tome.
Let me look at my
Notes.
father's notes. Yeah, let me just bring that to
I
the.
believe he
and that's
scribbled it in
the,
the margin somewhere.
We
What's
can
the name of the spell, just so I can check it out as well?
secret chest. So I'll just read it out.
I'll give
You
you a secret
you
chest.
hide a chest
Whoa.
and you hide a chest and all its
a matter
contents
of
on the
time.
ethereal plane. You must touch the chest in miniature replica that serves as a material component for the spell. The chest may contain up to 12 cubic feet of non-living material. Non-living material. While the chest remains on the ethereal plane, you can use an action to touch the replica and recall the chest. It appears in an unoccupied space on the ground within 5 feet of you. You can send it back to the ethereal plane by using an action and touching both the chest and the replica. Yeah. There's some other notes after 60 days, but I don't think it's a concern.
Okay.
But we are unsure if this is non-living material.
Quite true.
I would guess that the amulets themselves are not living material.
And instead imbued with some magic that is communicative in some way.
Unless it counts as living if there's like a spirit.
Yeah, you can't take a dude and is Paddington non-living material? I don't know.
Paddington, I would say Paddington is living material because you put life into it.
I think the amulets have life, don't they?
So
They're hot.
Yeah, just had a conversation with it. I feel like that's probably.
Ask your amulet friend.
Are you alive?
I'll ask. So I'll say, inquiring minds want to know. My friends are quite curious now that they're all aware of your presence, and
It's a shock
So-
to me, just a shock.
who are you exactly?
We, sir, are not a fool to say everything about my nature, but I couldn't help but overhear the conversation through a few.
You will listen when I tell you to.
But sir, it's our nature to know, because we are not just living, sir. We are life.
And
That's rather arrogant of you.
We destroyed your life. Oh, I can't touch that.
you can talk, and through his ears, they can hear.
But I don't know what he's saying. They're saying to him now.
Oh yeah.
Hello, amulets! Hello, can you hear me?
We're nicer.
Do you feel this? Flick, flick.
Please.
Yes, we
And
do
now-
feel that.
And you wonder why I kept you secret from them for so long.
Understandable, sir.
Yes,
Understandable.
now you see what I have to deal with.
Yes.
Have you
Okay.
considered being just a better looking amulet and just?
Can you put a little effort in at least?
We try, sir. We try.
And
If you would join us with our brethren, I could look any way you choose.
in life, who were you?
We were never human per se, sir, but we were, as you say, existing beyond humanity, sir.
Then, I guess who created these amulets and absorbed you into them?
The old Drow elves were our first masters, sir.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Do I hear you mutter "fucking elves" under your breath?
You do. Because I definitely say it out loud.
I'll remember that.
Sorry.
as will I.
Drow.
You see a sudden block of text appear over his head that says hypochondrius will remember that. Pour one out for Telltale. Feels bad, man.
Well, we will be carrying on. I will do as I promised, and I will get you ever closer towards your brethren. I just ask that between now and then, behave yourselves. Do as you're told, and keep quiet.
Of course, sir. You will make good on your promise, of course.
This is not an if situation. This is an I'm your master situation. And you will do as you're told.
Sir, we are glad you are taking such good care of us, sir.
Thank you. And I will continue to do so.
Indeed, sir.
Could you ask your little friends to warn us if their brethren are approaching us?
So I'll let them know. And to ensure that I can get us towards your brethren as expeditiously as possible, as soon as they are anywhere within reach, please do notify us so that I can
Roll deception.
Deception is my best stat,
It's
so
11.
They also have a hardwired your brain, so.
Tell them.
it's also a 25.
But I did roll a crit. I rolled a 20. I'm sorry, feels bad.
How do you lose with a 25?
Tell them we'll keep them fed.
But they say they don't fully disbelieve you because you did really well. But they say, sir, we will. If our brethren are near, sir, I imagine we'll all be quite aware.
That is true. I let everyone know. And they do require certain sustenance. So should things get a little dicey, we can just refuse to feed them and all should be okay.
Yes, that sounds like a
Everybody
perfect
give
plan.
me I don't know. Actually, yeah, no, let me just thought about it. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
This first roll is going to come at some point on
I
these
know.
dice. I'm scared of it. Question.
Because
What if we just took it off and threw it away?
Oh, how I'd like to.
Well, you said you can't separate them, but you can take it off.
you can take them off. I think they said that. You can take them off, but
That's
you can't
like
break
leaving
them
the
apart.
one ring.
Throw it in the river.
At least you know that.
People will find
But I mean,
it.
that losing the ring bought them at least a few hundred years.
But it was along like the bottom of like a river that moved it. They didn't know
I have tried and failed to take it off.
Okay.
So as you guys are conversating, you see the dwarves. They start striking a generally southern. They're not far ahead, so if you guys want to continue figuring things out, you can. But they start kind of joining the ranks of heading towards the ranks of refugees that are flooding southward. And it's usually other dwarves, a few humans scattered between them, but no elves in that particular party.
Are we on foot, or how are we traveling?
You all will be on foot. Once you leave the cave, you'll be going on foot.
I would like to investigate around for a donkey.
So among the refugees, there's some people with pack animals, donkeys, but most of them will have an owner nearby.
She rides piggyback on me.
I would like to find one of the owners of said donkeys, and let them know that I have been gravely injured in the fighting that took place in the city, and am looking to travel south, but don't know that I can do it under my own power, and would like to purchase the power of your pack animal to ride down south.
Gravely injured, eh? Well,
I'm struggling a bit, but I can manage. But it would be much simpler if I could ride, and I'd be willing to pay.
well, sir, in times like these, you know, everyone's desperate for a ride.
Give me an insight check.
Sight is pretty good. 20.
Okay, so
He says, well, I'd say 20 gold pieces will about do it for me, donkey.
and you can tell from your insight check that he is trying to cheat you.
And I'll say 20 gold pieces for that. I could buy 3 or 4 donkeys of my own. So what you're asking is obviously ludicrous. So let's talk about what you really want.
Desperate times, sir, desperate times. A lot of folks, a lot of refugees had to leave things at home.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand, my invisible Mage Hand, and I'm going to go up and have my Mage Hand just slap his donkey and make it run off.
Okay. So he's gonna roll perception.
Sorry, did you slap his ass?
It's invisible.
Yeah, he slapped his ass.
Okay, I mean, try me by all means.
There's a sound. There'll be a magical.
Does he at least get disadvantage because it's invisible?
Yes, so you can get disadvantage. I'll make it a challenge check. He notices it's something. He's like looking around. He is not able to like really know what happened, but his donkey. It is tied, but it jolts and like pulls over like kind of the little wagon that it's carrying, and some stuff tumbles out, and he's like, "Oh, whoa there, Bessie!" He's like, "You brat!" And he smacks the crap out of the donkey and like starts like yelling at it and punching it, and then he like loads his stuff back.
I go over to him and I confront him.
Okay, he says, what do you want?
I want you to leave that animal alone.
He says, well, maybe you should put the 20 gold pieces up to purchase it if it's so important to you.
And he gives it another elbow.
I'll put gold pieces somewhere where the sun don't shine.
While he's distracted by this, can I rifle through all the shit that fell over?
Yeah. All right.
I'll put 20 gold pieces where the sun does not shine.
I want to pay him with his own shit for my ride down.
That can be arranged. So go ahead and rifle through.
So would that be
so that would be
or perception.
Let me pull it up. I would say investigation. You can, and that will help give him advantage. So go ahead and roll intimidation, because that'll be how focused he is on you.
Okay.
Oh my god, why is this doing this to you?
It's
Only
only 7.
7?
Can I
Okay.
get advantage because he's distracting him?
You're distracting. You're the distraction. I
My
like
investigation
I
was,
like your plan.
my investigation was 14.
Okay, with everything? And you... Okay, I mean, she did fail her check, so you don't get advantage. Okay, so you find a few odds and ends, some candles, some kind of rolled leather, and you find not a coin purse, but like it looks like there's a coin purse somewhere in there. But you see like about 4 or 5 gold pieces that have just fallen and landed on the after the jolt that have fallen and landed on the bottom of the thing.
I'll have my invisible mage hand go over and pick up those gold pieces and slip them right in my pocket.
So let's do a sleight of hand check. There's the map. God.
Can I just cut the donkey's rope with my axe?
You can certainly do so.
That seems like a great plan.
Well, that way you can grab it.
Sleight of hand is
Yeah.
12.
You get advantage because it's invisible.
Sleight of hand is 19.
Alright, so you're able to swipe the 4 coins, but you're not able to get anything else.
Okay.
So you have 4 more gold pieces, and then are you going to try to break this? So as you look around, you realize that there are some kind of authority figures in the area. You know,
You have
like
no problem with animal abuse?
it's his animal. But yeah, you can do that, but you will have to kind of either there'll be some risk of awakening the authorities. Hey, thanks for the bits, Tasmo. Welcome. That helps with our pizza funds. Much obliged.
I just coolly,
Yeah, so you get a sense that there is... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I
Go
just
ahead.
coolly walk up to the guy and threaten him again. I'm like, you touch that thing, I'll come to you.
Well, you did fail your intimidation check, so he says,
Well, if you have a problem with how I'm treating my pet, feel free to purchase it.
and he kind of just gives you like the... It's like, thank you, ma'am. Look, yeah.
So, I'm obviously tired of this guy at this point.
Yeah.
I'll walk over and I'll hand, as we walk away, I'll hand 2 gold pieces over to Featherwedge and be, at least we got this from him. And,
I might smell in his direction.
Does he hear you say that?
no, this is after we walk
Oh,
away.
after. Okay, so you just leave him. Okay. So,
I
yes.
still smile in his direction. Self-aware.
Okay, so you take 2. You both get 2 gold pieces each, and you can add those to your money because gold is money. Gold's real money. Yeah. So you join the traveling band down. As the day passes, you see a few of the city guards that were dwarves keeping order, breaking up fights. A number of refugees as you get further south start branching off. So after one day passes, people are kind of setting up tents. Some people are walking through the night. But then as you get closer, as you follow your dwarvish companions closer to the mountain, like the people that are traveling with you get fewer and fewer. And it's almost as if this people are kind of taking a long way around this road. And even your dwarf companions are kind of looking up in the city. Or sorry, looking among the mountains, and they're all very, very stark mountains, steep rock, kind of sheer cliffs, and you're almost walking almost like a kind of a tunnel.
But they're looking up.
Yeah, they're like looking up along the mountainside. So it kind of is just like a very sheer drop up, and there's snow-capped peaks, a few trees that are kind of sticking out at wild angles, but it's very, very quiet. Like so you don't hear any
Can I
wildlife.
Can I try and just like walk up to one and be like, what do you mind if I ask what you're looking at?
Doesn't become a dwarf to be nervous. Nothing.
That's why I'm so surprised.
Well, nothing. He just smiles and keeps walking.
Please, if there's danger around, I wish to know.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. You can also do Arcana.
16? 16
All right.
persuasion. If it's Arcana, it'd be 17.
Okay. So
He kind of like leans. He's like, "Okay, come here, lady. Listen. I don't know about how your friend knows this sage, but you don't become a sage without having some unhealthy communion with some spirits, as they say. And this fellow, he's lived. They say he's immortal. He's lived quite a long time. So people change. You understand?
Surely you can't be dangerous.
Well, I don't know, ma'am. I ain't never met the fellow, but
What do you hear about him?
well, I hear he's a funny duck, but
Funny duck wouldn't make you nervous.
yeah, well, he's spent a lot of time listening for darkness to come, and it kind of toys with the mind after a couple of 100 centuries. You understand?
Somebody's crazy.
Hey, I've
Just trying to find out.
I've seen a lot of. Perhaps that's what they say. He's a little addled, and adult folks can mean well, but can also cause a bit of damage, as they say. Without
Can I
intending.
overhear this conversation, or is it private?
He's pulled her aside,
Okay.
so you guys can't hear it. Yeah.
But then, just to fully understand, I still don't understand why that would make you nervous. If somebody's crazy, they clearly don't believe in things that aren't there. So, what makes you so afraid?
Well,
that it might be true? Whatever he sees, talks about?
Well, you don't get immortal without having a bit of power, I imagine.
So it's his power that frightens you.
Ah, well, it's what gave him the power, really. And he looks up at the hills again, and yeah.
Would I have any knowledge of this sage, being that my queen recommended it, and I am, in being a high elf, old enough to potentially know who this is?
Yeah, give me a history check.
My background is
Oh,
also
man.
sage.
Aren't you? Yeah.
History check.
Here we go. First roll, 20. Only 20s,
I was
only
gonna say
20s.
we have a weird person that believes in spirits already. The cleric.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
13.
Okay. So you have a general sense of, come on, grab another cookie. Yeah, I know. People are laughing that we're eating all the cookies, which they are
Does anybody
delicious.
want some?
They are
There's
delicious.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's like
I do, but I
it's like
can't.
Wonka vision.
See,
You gotta reach.
The problem is that if you don't eat them, I have to eat them later, and I'm
Maybe
not.
I'll have one.
Like, I'm a fan of that in the moment, but
Just
like,
pick one for the team.
Pick one for the
You're
team.
helping them.
I should be
I
eating
haven't put-
paleo. Oh God, no! You know what?
I have all these treats at work that I have to say no to
All
all
right,
day,
I'll
so
say
it's good
no, I'll say
practice for me to
I'll be
actually say
supportive.
no at
I'll
home,
be
too.
supportive.
There's like cupcakes.
I made a
bread,
promise
crackers.
to the Foxy lady that I wouldn't cheat on paleo if we were in the same.
I said no to
thing.
free lasagna
Oh.
yesterday.
Yeah,
We,
that's
we
fine.
should have made like.
There was
Not-
dip and shrimp, so I just had that.
Yeah.
But there was like 10
Is it
bits of
soft batch or
lasagna.
crunchy? They're crunchy and soft. They smell
it's gonna be
amazing.
chewy on the inside, a little
Yeah.
crunchy on the outside.
So maybe I'll keep one. Then
Can I
after
smell
Foxy
them?
leaves, then I'll eat
You can
it.
smell them.
Yeah, I like to smell
I
things
just
that
want
I
to sniff it.
No, yeah, I do. It actually helps.
And then the brown sugar just really comes through nicely, you know.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Smelling is half of tasting.
What if you chop it up into a line and then snort? Does that?
Snort it. It doesn't
No, you didn't eat it.
do the calories count at that point? I don't think so.
Yeah, they don't. Sorry. Oh yeah. So Arcana check on the sage. Sorry. Got it.
History, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. History. So you know that this sage has been someone who's been relatively operating under the radar. He's been known to have long life, and especially like the rumors of immortality means that you've had to have made like some sort of really sketchy deal. Because in order to kind of like ascend to that level
Unless
of
you're
power,
like racially predisposed
Yeah.
to long age.
because he's human. So he's like originally human, but he's made some sort of deal to get a lot of power. But you know that he first started appearing in history texts, and only in very obscure ones, from many thousands of years ago. So like he's kind of always been around, but he used to be associated more heavily with elves.
Okay.
So
Little Tom Bombadil going on.
you know.
Do you guys share this information or?
No.
Yeah. I'll share. I'll just share the conversation I had with him.
I won't share the information that I know from history.
Got you.
Can I prod him a little more? Because he didn't really answer my question. Like the power. I know
Yeah.
you kind of got that, but I didn't. So just to kind of be like, well, what kind of power?
Oh man, if I knew, maybe I'd be living a bit longer myself. You understand?
Is there something in particular you fear about this? Is there some particular power you fear? Or is just any power that could grant a man that long life?
There's listen, man. I think I try to think about what else lives quite a long time, and it's these bloody elves. And if you take my meaning, I don't want much to do with any of that
I'm a
anymore.
half elf.
Well, you're half good then.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Not many people can say that to me.
Yeah.
A little tear.
Then I like one half of you.
That's better than none. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll cast Pass Without Trace. So we can be sneaky. Do you think that's a good idea?
Are we worried about being attacked?
Like, he seems pretty sketchy.
Are you consulting the group on this?
Yeah, I'll consult the group.
Is our entire
I would-
caravan within your
I would. I
Wow, that's kind of, yeah.
knowing that this is a potentially all powerful or near all powerful magic user,
He could just be misunderstood though.
stealthily approaching with magic might indicate nefarious intentions.
You think he'll...
Wait, are you saying we don't have nefarious intentions?
Not to my knowledge, no. I had assumed we were going to consult more of a consultant's job.
Really? Rest assured now.
For all we know, he's watching us right now.
If he's this all powerful, then he surely could be
Alright, what's our leverage if he tries to attack us?
this guy.
I'll have my amulet.
Amulets!
And I want
the-
to go off into the corner and start mumbling under my breath like I'm talking to my amulets and make sure that everyone sees me doing it, but I'm not actually saying
Well,
it.
just think how well fed they would be on such a powerful dude.
Think of the joy.
I'm thinking that maybe the sage we're consulting on how to destroy or protect from the amulets
Well,
probably
this is
is
our
not
last-
super susceptible to the amulets.
Possibly.
Maybe just got a bad rap to him. He's really a nice
I
guy.
think he's probably fine.
But, you know,
These
I think
dwarves
he's
seem
fine.
quite suspicious and superstitious. That's
who
my
trusts a
thought.
dwarf anyway?
Not me. I don't trust anybody
I
below.
trust them
20
more
feet.
than I trust you for.
I don't trust anyone that short.
Especially when they have super tiny legs.
No. Weird.
Bothers me.
Don't like them.
Don't like short people.
Oh, I think I can do my primeval awareness thing to sense some
This
stuff
guy isn't
within a
bad.
mile.
A prime.
This guy.
He's
is-
prime.
And evil, so we have found
It'll
Diablo.
cost a spell slot, but I can sense whether any of those
Wonderful.
types of things are within a mile of us.
We have found.
That's all her phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
What do
Great.
you sense, sorry?
I can sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile.
Jeffrey?
It does not reveal their location or number.
So within 1 mile.
And it just says yes, all of them.
Did you use
Yes.
Yes.
as a virus? It just
Wait.
I don't. I think it will tell me which one. Otherwise, that's like totally useless.
I think it specifies.
Yeah, that's like 15
Go back to
In the
it.
past it did.
Yeah, it'll tell you what type. It won't tell you what. Oh, let me see.
It's probably something else that's going to attack us while we're talking to this guy.
While we're debating
It's $10.
whether he's evil.
I bet you 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, so within 1 mile.
Within 1
Pretty big
mile.
radius, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so you can tell that there are 2 undead things awaiting in the hills off, and you can kind of see
Oh, I
just a
shouldn't
little
have known that it was
ways.
2, actually.
Huh?
You shouldn't have told me it was 2. I think I'm technically not supposed to know the quantity.
Oh, okay. So there's
or the
undead.
or
There's
the
undead.
location, just
Okay.
within a mile.
I think we
right?
could have
Oh, I
guessed
see.
in the hills.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
just
Yeah.
undead.
So there's undead.
N or many undead. We don't know how many. We don't know where. Yeah.
It feels like 2.
I
mean,
can
just-
tells
get the
me.
sense.
That's why I expended 1 spell slot for that. Okay,
So what do we
guys.
There's some
I
undead
think
nearby.
there's some undead in the hills.
How many?
Maybe in the hills.
Gosh,
Who knows?
At least one.
non-zero.
And
4 is right out.
3. The number of undead shall be 3.
Cool.
Okay, so then yeah, and that road and the dwarves are kind of packs on, cruising as quickly as they can, and you kind of come to a part where the rock looks almost kind of chopped and broken, and then they say, "Well, if you want to see him,"
and they kind of give a thumb over to this like kind of gash in the side of this very sheer wall that just kind of looks like almost just like just a ruined like crevasse.
What a beautiful house.
It's so you don't see a house, but you can like it kind of like the gash winds a little ways into the mountains.
It's this house.
Yeah, confirmed.
House.
It's beautiful.
What's the name of the main dwarf leader that we've been talking to?
That
name?
was
Athos.
Oh,
Athos.
Do we
Ethos.
still? Is there still
Yeah.
a donkey nearby?
No, you guys didn't end up getting the donkey. You just stole some money. But they are continuing to walk, and they say, "Well, if you all need any place to say hold off while all this elf chaos goes afoot, well, let us know. We'll be as deep as we can go, as they say."
That's what she said.
Yep.
It's like we're the same person.
slap both of your individual hands. Yeah. Shame.
And for the record, we didn't steal any money. He dropped money.
He dropped money. Yeah.
And he didn't pick it up. And
Yeah.
we did.
Well, he dropped it in his cart, but yeah.
Irrelevant. We are not thieves. We are simply opportunistic.
Hey, 2 gold pieces is like a healing potion worth, so that's pretty good.
Out of curiosity,
Kimberly, okay.
how long if we've had 2 or 3 long rests since I received an item, should I be attuned to it?
Yes. What item was it?
The old man's staff, the carved staff of the
Whoa.
stone acolyte.
Is it
The one you
dripping?
held.
Handle that old man's staff.
Dangling for
It's kind of like.
Just a
So much
Wobbly.
look, it's more like a rope here.
Yeah, it's
Retractable.
depends on the amount of
carved staff of the stone acolyte.
Yes, the carved staff of the stone acolyte.
Notes. Never mind. We're good. We're goddamn it.
Have we got a ton of verses now?
So once a day. So it's a focus item. So it's just a staff focus item in terms of its general attack and stuff. So it's just a straight up quarter staff, I think is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it has 2 charges a day. I'm trying to find the spell, but I'm looking at a little bit.
Okay.
It has
Meantime,
2.
what are undead weak to? Like, what's
Everything except
Light.
necromancy.
And my amulets have told me that they are light, so clearly.
everything except necromancy? Is it?
Technically, like is that what it's called, necromancy? Or like
Necromancy is death magic.
yeah. So like they would be immune or resistant to that, right?
I would assume so, and I would assume things like holy magic would be great against them.
Yeah.
Turn undead is great.
Holy magic.
What?
Holy magic.
What
We're
about
trying
it?
to figure out the best ways to beat undead, and holy magic comes up.
Oh,
frequently.
well, I have
So
a
it
turn
has 2
undead channel
charges of
divinity,
shatter.
so I can just make them like
It has
turn away
2
from
charges of shatter on
2 charges per day of shatter.
it. Per long rest, yeah.
There's a reason we keep you around.
Mm-hmm.
That and your dirty.
And what is?
Yes.
Do I need to know what shatter does?
It's in the spellbook, but
Oh, great.
pretty much I think it's just like an AoE, like explosion type thing.
Okay.
So it's like a small AoE, but it can hurt allies and foes alike.
Good.
But
Just in case anyone gets out of line,
use
you
with
know.
caution. Yeah, but it should say it in the manual somewhere.
Great.
But yeah, so 2 charges of shatter. So as you all kind of pause to talk, you see the dwarves keep winding forward towards where I
Where
assume
are they going?
they're going back to their kind of their
to
caves,
Haldor,
their
okay.
cave, their Haldor.
It's a cool dwarf town of Haldor.
Yeah. Hold the door.
Haldor. Hold the door.
Held the door. So yes, they're heading off to Heldor, and then as you kind of you see this path on your right. So yeah.
Can I do a perception check? Just kind of in a little.
Yeah. So
Same.
you both can roll perception.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Nice.
So you see, you're at what looks like at the beginning of the path. So the path goes a little ways, a long ways ahead. So within your near vicinity, you can't perceive that much because it's really just like kind of a tricky stone path that will kind of lead its way up into the mountain. Yeah. But
Nothing
you can-
seems off about it. There's no weird vibes.
you get a strange sense of unease as you look. Like there's
But
something kind of off
So even with the
about
nat 20,
these
I can't
mountains.
really tell.
You're probably too far away because perception is pretty within like the 60 to 100 feet you're in.
Well,
Alright.
this is what we came to see.
Shall we?
Might as
Shall
well
we?
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all go
Go.
forward through this kind of. So everybody, give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
18.
Okay.
Acrobatics or athletics.
It's an 8.
7.
Okay.
Right thing.
11.
7, 11,
27.
27. Okay, so everybody under a 10.
Ropes, man.
So everybody under 10, which I think is you two, are struggling in this path because it is very treacherous. And as they adeptly jump into the path, you all kind of climb up this scrabble of rock. You two fall back down a little bit and take 2 points of falling damage.
Us two being.
Owie.
Put her on
Anybody
my
under
back.
10 that got under 10 on that check. So, yeah.
Can I put her on my back?
Chihuahua.
You can, but then you will have to roll again because you will be at disadvantage.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, brush it off. Alright, so now give me that check again. Because as you reattempt to climb.
Dies
13
to,
that time.
dies to
13.
like 8 failed
That's better.
rolls.
18.
Okay, so then you both kind of awkwardly, we're fine, and then
That was
That
easy.
a mess.
That
Yeah.
was fine.
hustle up into the hill. So as you wind through the walk, through the walk, you start you wind forward, and the sense of cold starts to kind of get more and more acute, and the stone path becomes a little bit more path-like. So kind of this crazy rockiness seems to almost have been a deterrent to people accidentally turning up it. But once you kind of get over the initial hump, the path gets relatively smooth. And you start seeing little torches, almost like an entryway. So like little torches start posting up on either side of the road, and it extends for almost a straight cut up the mountain. So it's kind of like this stairway with these torches kind of going pretty directly up, and it's a very, very like well manicured. Yeah.
How far can we see the top of the mountain?
So you still the top, like the end of the path is kind of shrouded in mist, but you see a platform just maybe 200-300 feet above, where there are lots of torches, and then you see it. So it's sort of like stairway up, platform, another stairway up, but then on that wall that's on the other half up, you see all these runes carved in these like strange language, and you can just barely make them out. You're not close enough to
Does
discern
anybody with,
anything.
with intelligence want to make an Arcana check?
I
Just
think
to
we have
make
to
sure
get
there's no
closer to read
traps.
them, right?
Okay.
We
So
can
you're
tell
still
it- yeah.
right now too far to read them. You're maybe
No, I
about.
meant just in general.
I'll,
for traps.
I'll do an Arcana check just
Yeah,
Just in
on
case there's
Oh, I have a
traps
trap
before the
wand.
doors. Oh.
You do
I
indeed.
mean, it's probably more likely near the
It's
door.
not gonna help
but
much.
I'll do an Arcana check on
Just the general area.
the area to see if there's
Okay.
any like obvious magical entities nearby.
This guy's crazy.
Okay,
He's
so,
gonna be
I got an
crazy.
11.
I know crazy.
Or I'll do a check. Should it be Arcana?
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Arcana is accurate.
that is 24.
Okay, so you sense that there is arcane power charged in that particular platform, but you're not able to sense any entities. But there is arcane power locked up in that platform, pent up, as it were. Like there's sort of like this stored energy in the rocks, in the torches.
And this is on like a plateau in the hills.
On the stairs.
Okay.
There's stairs
Yeah.
going up, right?
Okay.
Who-
We're
who-
standing at the bottom of the stairs right now.
Who told us to come here, by the way?
The elf queen.
So we just need to name drop her. Okay. What's your name?
Salome.
Salami.
Salam.
Salami.
Salam.
There you go. Alara.
Alana.
Instantly
late.
dead.
The late
Sage kills
Alana.
us.
Yeah, we're great friends with Alara.
Alara.
Where's Paddington?
He's fine. He's
I
a
think
quiet guy.
I assume we lost him in the shuffle of the. Oh no, he carried me out.
Yeah, he carried you out.
Maybe
Chilling.
He's just been coming along with you all so far.
Okay.
He loves
Yeah.
us.
Unless
A
you
strong
all
bond.
would prefer him to stay
No.
behind, or
He needs to be with us.
he's best friend.
yeah, he's just coming. He's hanging out. He just has he's like, what else am I gonna do? And then, he's not gonna go do crafts. He hates crafts.
He's not dexterous, okay?
Okay, so let's just head up to the
Let's-
platform, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start climbing the stairs.
Carefully.
Carefully, slowly.
I'll go in the front.
Okay, so you start going in the front. Are you guys gonna? Okay, so as you start going up, and you get closer and closer to the platform, you give me a athletics check.
Yeah.
That's right.
21.
Okay, so you're able to kind of the last few stones are almost chipped away and kind of beaten up almost. But you're able to kind of dodge that funny little bit of footing toward the end.
I warn them.
Yeah, and you warn them. You're the only one that need to make the check because you're the one that's kind of like the stone is cracking out beneath you, and you're able to get onto the platform safely. They're able to see where the stone broke, and then give me a perception check because you're the only one on the platform right now.
Yeah. 16.
Okay, so then you suddenly sense this kind of really acute sense of cold. The coldness in the air starts tightening and getting more intense, and it seems to be coming from the sigils at the far end of the
You're extra perky nips right
at the
now.
sigil.
Nips to cut glass.
Cutting glass. But yeah, you sense it's coming from those two.
Tighter so that
Yeah, so you don't doesn't bend the armor.
Yeah.
But it's like a middle hammer.
Has little cutouts in the armor just for that.
Yeah, just oh good, I don't have to buy a new set.
How awkward would it be if my armor had holes for my nipples?
Hey, that's for when those cold weather strikes happen. It's the hazard of the Perky Nips family.
We have a lot going for
It's
us.
a log, no problem.
Yeah.
My father before him.
the men and women of our family.
Yeah, it doesn't discriminate.
Yeah, it
My
does not.
grandfather killed a man with his nipples in the dead of winter.
The fourth Perky Nips line. A long and
Use them as a
prestigious,
weapon.
a long and prestigious line. But yeah, so then it starts to coalesce around those two things, and
sorry,
Look at the runes.
those two
Oh,
kind of enormous rune carvings at the far end of the thing.
Yeah,
And you see it start. It's almost as if it's starting to something is starting to increasingly happen. So you see that blue light starts to congeal around those. Blue light. And it so yeah, you probably have about 10 or 20 seconds to react now. You and your party.
Do I get the sense that it will stop if I get off the
So
platform?
you guys can. You gave an arcana check earlier. Do you want to make that check now? What was your check?
Can we see this
I was
happening?
Yeah, you all are
24.
right close behind.
24.
her.
Alright, back the
Space
fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 24, and we sense that there's a lot
Yeah.
of contained magic on the platform, and
Okay.
I'll yell that out and say, "There's the magic is coming from the platform and the surrounding runes.
Okay.
Back up now."
So now that you're closer, your arcane knowledge lets you understand that those are two summoning things for what looks like guardian spells to protect the sage from intruders.
So do I get the sense that if I get off the platform it'll stop? Or
You can roll Arcana to check, but you can try it, but you can roll Arcana to see.
I mean we'll probably have to fight them anyways.
Throw some. Can we destroy the runes or throw something at the runes?
Can I
You can certainly try. You can give an Arcana knowledge. You can also check Arcana.
Can I try and
One more time. That'll be a new check because that's like a different thing.
Me or
Whoever wants.
How
Yeah.
about a 12 for Arcana?
Ooh, how about a 15?
So you know that altering some of the magical components can definitely alter the outcome of the spell. So you can certainly probably try.
Okay.
You can definitely try.
I feel like we should probably overload this room with more ice.
So wait,
My plan is to just
there-
surprise whatever.
it's the
gets
stairs up to the platform, and then what's
Yeah, so it's
surrounding
a
the
pretty
platform?
much here. I'll draw you guys a very simple. One of my beautiful artworks. I know these are going to be selling in the Academy of Arts and Sciences and drawings.
Get your pre-orders in now.
Yeah, they'll be up there as sciences. So we have these lovely Jeff Doka original sciences.
So this is the stairway up here, and this is the wall. So kind of at the end of this platform, it's like, and it's a pretty sheer drop, and this is like a hard cut in the mountain, and this is like rune A, and that's rune B.
And where are we?
And you all are right here, and Feather Widget just stepped up.
How long is that distance?
So Feather Widget is here. You all are back behind it.
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe, yeah. These are the pretty big platforms. So this is about 10 feet here.
Okay.
What did you say?
I said 10 miles. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, 10 miles. So it's 10
for a while.
foot. 10 foot
So
intervals.
realistically, if she has 10 seconds, she's not going to make it to that other side in time.
Probably. So she has 20. So each turn is 6, and your movement is.
You have a lot, right?
You have a lot.
Yeah, it's 40 feet.
40 feet. So she can get about 80 feet. And that's going to maybe get her to 1 in time. 2, 3, 4,
just
5,
surprise the hell out of
6,
whatever
7,
gets
8. Yeah, so she can just get there. She can just get to 1.
Do you think I'll be able to surprise it if I'm there?
It's about
and
80
just,
feet. Certainly try.
Why don't we just try on the runes first, just to see if it
Because
will prevent it
they're
from doing
they're
something?
80 feet away.
So she can just run there, which she
okay,
could
can
do
I
that.
take a swing at the
All right, so you run forward and you bring your great axe down the rune. Roll me an attack. It's not gonna be a very hard check, but roll me an attack nonetheless.
It's a 10.
Okay, that will still hit. I mean,
Okay.
it's stationary. So give me a damage roll.
Alright.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and start writing my damage.
I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at the
10
other one.
damage.
Alright.
Okay. So you're able to take a chunk out of the rock. You're shooting your crossbow. Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack. I gotta start keeping track.
Oh, that was a crit.
Yeah, that's a good first roll of the night. So -10.
Is this your first roll?
Uh huh.
Not 9.
Well, actually, I've had other rolls. And 6 damage.
Okay,
Can I see what the runes are made of?
so you got 6.
Yeah. But what does the crit do?
You roll your damage twice,
Okay.
and then you add the same modifier. So it's 2x
11.
dice. Oh yeah, so 11. That's perfect. Okay.
Can
Yeah.
Can we see what the runes are made of? Are they carved into stone?
They're
or-
carved into stone, but like ice is kind of congealing inside of their lettering. It's starting to get colder.
Can I use
And you're
prestidig-
also going to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Can I use prestidigitation to warm that
Mhm.
surface?
You can. You can try, but it probably will get overwhelmed a little bit.
Oh, actually, never mind. It's super short range. I can't.
25. Okay, so you're going to take half, but you were going to take cold damage. You're going to take 2, 4, 6, 3 cold damage as the air starts to
I
freeze.
can't get close enough. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
cold.
I'm freezing. Which
Can
is
I
pretty
kill
much a
them with my
normal day for
nipples?
you. You
Yeah.
can certainly try. Ching, 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 ching. I've had to do this since my grandfather. It's like the fembots, yeah. All right. Yeah, so that will probably be enough. All you can do in that time. So the ice starts to coalesce and converge, and so on the other side, a fully formed rock, which is a large winged demon, pops out of like a circle that kind of
Where is
emerges.
it? Can you show us
On the
map?
other side. So the you guys all went to this one, at least I thought. So you guys went over here. and then the Varrock pops out here on that side, and then your rune starts to glow extremely bright, but the rune has been damaged, so a kind of mutilated mass of just meat and guts just explodes out of the wall.
Well, we both attacked the same
warmer
one.
now.
You all attack the same one, I assume.
Oh
yeah.
my! Oh!
Ah!
I pulled out a handkerchief and hold it over my mouth. Oh!
I'm a little warmer now, though.
Yeah. But immediately they freeze over. And the cold starts getting more and more intense as the other Vrock marches toward you. And
Wait,
everybody give me an initiative.
I thought you crit on the other runes.
Oh, yeah, I thought you all attacked the same one. Or did you attack the other one?
Who said the other one?
Yeah, I did mean the other one initially.
Then it
But
probably
I don't know
won't
if it did
actually
anything.
have killed it then.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Well, that is what I intended to do.
you attack the other one? Okay,
Yeah.
so then... Alright, so then two Vrocks come out. Both of them are bearing some gashes and wounds. And they look like they've had a rough journey through the turtle. But two Vrocks land, one directly in front of you. You can get a surprise attack, sure.
Okay.
Because you did run up for that
Except
purpose.
I rolled a
and took
nat
some-
one, so.
So you're gonna miss. And you're gonna get so excited that you swing forward and you like
I
smack
tried
your head
that.
against the wall.
13 for initiative.
13?
My initiative was a nat 20, though, so.
Great.
I'm going to extremes here.
Alright,
7.
13, 20. So the rocks will come in at half-life, I think.
I was 20.
I'm at 17.
17. There's a switch. 13 was hypochondrias. 20 was Wexley.
Bourbon.
What was your
20.
initiative, Wexley? 20? Oh wow.
That's with my modifier.
Okay, so yeah, so it's your second after her.
Okay.
And
I
then
am at
we'll
a
see
7.
what our little friends are gonna do. 15.
Little friends, or are they quite large?
They're pretty big, actually.
Jess, this is one of my favorite light beers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it. It's all yours.
This session brought to you by...
April,
I'm so light.
April, do you want this last slice?
No, I'm good.
Does anybody want a slice of pizza for
I
grabs?
mean, I do, but I'm not going to have any.
Nice.
You wreck a discipline.
I don't recommend this.
You don't. Actually, so if you all want, I have some left over of that chocolate caramel thing. So let me know if you all want some of that for dessert.
I think I'll just have some.
Because it's been in my fridge because I've been trying to be good and not eat it. But
Have some
also
light.
more bourbon.
Bourbon?
It's my big
Oh,
Wobon?
that's you saying bourbon in a funny voice.
Oh! I was like, Wobon. I didn't know have this Wobon.
18?
18? Alright.
What? No, it's Oban 18.
Oh, Oban. Oh, I wish. Oban's great.
Side note, I saw Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was it good?
Yeah.
It was
It
cute.
was cute.
Yeah.
It really walked the line of being
An
very funny and
advertisement?
being pandering.
It was an advertisement. It was
Yeah.
like Facebook,
It looked
Instagram,
pandering
Twitter.
in the trailer.
It was it had like a
But
heartwarming message.
Yeah, but they were decently funny with it.
Yeah.
They even had Bob Ross in it. Though.
That was
They,
the one
like,
that sold me on
They
it.
went
That was-
for it.
Yeah.
I've been. I was thinking about double featuring it this weekend because I want to see that and I want to see Fantastic Beasts. And I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic Beasts. I liked it. It was, or at least it was better than the review said it was going to be.
So I may go see both.
It
this
had
week.
issues for sure, but I was pleasantly like, oh yeah, that was enjoyable.
The Disney princess jokes were actually my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Those things are pretty funny.
Anyone else want some bourbon?
I'll
Sure.
take a little bit.
I'm just gonna take wine glasses. So
That works.
Fine.
Fine.
Oh, that's fine.
I have a glass over here. I mean, that's
There's, yeah. Oh, you know. You can also just bring the bourbon and
Oh, true.
bring,
Drinking out the bottle,
yeah, drink
pass
out of
it.
the bottle. Doesn't
We
matter.
don't F around here.
puff and pass.
Is this a 4K monitor?
No. That one was like $1,000.
I don't know.
They don't.
I don't think it's
I
necessary.
don't believe in 4K yet.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, they don't make 4K ones with a high enough refresh rate yet. Is
Yeah.
my problem.
And
No, it's like-
and most things can't even run at true 4K. They run at upscaled 2K,
Yeah,
and like it
The
doesn't.
2080 can run some
someone
games
who's-
at 4K if you're fine with 50 to 60 frames. You're not going to get the 100 frames that you can get it.
That's the thing.
I'd rather have Minecraft at 165, like you know, like 100 plus frame rate than
Yeah.
you know The Witcher at 30.
Yeah.
That's true. The thing is like with that, like like even with this computer running it, it looks to me fantastic. Like, it's the nicest monitor I've ever had. Like I never spend on things that are cheap as hell. So like for me, it was like, hey, this is night and day. So I'm like, I'm like pretty happy with it. But yeah, like it was like a refurb, which is nothing about. It's still very nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan. You guys, I played Destiny on it, and like it was beautiful.
This seems so pretty.
Yeah. Oh, feels bad, man. Break stuff. All right, Vrox. Let's go kick some butt. So, it is first act is Feather Widget Perkinips. After your embarrassing surprise attack, you still get first action.
Okay, so firstly I entered a very dainty, elegant rage. And then the one that's closest to me, I take my first attack.
Okay.
I roll a 24.
That'll hit.
Okay. Just making sure. Should I do my other attack?
If it doesn't hit, you're all in big trouble.
Yeah. Should I roll my other attack?
Go ahead and roll all your attacks first, just to
Okay.
make it simple. So
My next one is only a 10, so I'm guessing.
Yep, that'll miss.
Okay. So 10 points of damage.
Okay. Okay, so you take a big swing and cash into the Brock, but these are kind of these big hulking beasts, reddish skin, wearing these like plates armor, and you only kind of dent the armor and cut a little bit of the flesh, whereas some like greenish blood oozes out. And then it is on Wexley.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Ooh, yes.
Dex 15 saving throw.
Does it have any special impacts to demonic?
It's radiant damage, so
That'll hurt, yeah. Let me see. I don't think I have a susceptibility to it, though. Okay. So, 16. And what was the saving throw?
15.
But what was the, it was radiant?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I think I save.
Okay, it doesn't say what happens if you save. I guess it's nothing. It misses.
Okay, so then yeah, it
Is
misses.
that what happens? Okay.
Oh, it'll usually say on the spell.
Like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d8 radiant. So I guess yeah, it misses.
Okay. All right. So then this blinding flash of light emerges from your cleric and takes a chunk out of the wall, right by the thing's head. And he says, "Thank you, God, but I wish you could be more accurate." And then it's on our dear friend, the Vrock. So the Vrock closest to you guys, you hear it say, "Ah, little mortal," and it attacks you with its beak.
It's a beak?
Yes, it's kind of like this like bird-like demon.
Armored bird thing?
Yeah, it's like this
Is it
kind of
icy?
human bird.
I start laughing because it's so
Let me see if I can find an image of a Vrock.
I'm picturing like
It's like a 15-foot tall chicken.
Have you ever seen a chicken before?
Are we?
Chicken.
Are we?
a coodle-doo.
So it's like this, but with armor.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh, so that's.
That's
Are we inside or outside right
You all are outside. You're on the mountainside. Okay. So yeah, it's not. It's like a cha.
I spent my entire action doing all the chicken dances.
It's an insult in
Wow, you really know.
Yeah, Arrested Development's classic. But for real now. All right, so it attacks you with its beak. It is gonna do. It's gonna hurt.
Okay. It doesn't attack. It just hits.
I hit for 23. So let me know if that
Barely.
hits.
Barely. Just barely.
Just a scratch. 'Tis but a flesh wound.
You said
let's
that
see.
jokingly, but that might just barely
What are you
hit
looking
next
for?
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for 2d6. That might just barely hit Lexi. Yeah. 21. What a
Why are you
beast.
so armored?
You
got
got
that
that
extra
armor
armor.
off the
Scale
stone
mail.
guy. You got the
Of the
scale
witch guy?
mail.
And I have a shield, and I have a ring.
1,
And you can't stealth.
That's
You
two.
take
why items-
Wow,
that's
you're
why we
lucky.
always
So
loot
you're
the
gonna take
bodies.
Yeah.
5 points of piercing damage, and then it's gonna take a swing.
Is that with my resistance?
No, that's just
Okay.
raw. And
Is
then
that-
it's
do I
gonna
round
take a
down?
swing at you with its talons. And that will be 12 plus 6. 18?
Slashing or something?
Yeah, and that's 2d10. Hold on. 8.
Oh, 18?
18.
Yes,
16.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
And then 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so 9 altogether. Okay.
So you take. So it's like. Like. Yeah, pretty much.
Official
Yeah, official sound.
official rock.
Yeah.
I get
It's just
slashed,
like-
but then I
Yeah.
laugh. I can't help it when I laugh.
Huh?
I can't, like, after I get attacked, I'm still just, like, so...
And it says,
overwhelmed
"How
that
dare
I
you,
laugh.
mortal!
Yeah. I'm like, you bird.
We are the defenders!" Like it's all
Shut up,
buttered.
bird.
It's really like, it's like, wow. You will suffer!
Can it have disadvantage because it's embarrassed?
Yeah, sure. You get disadvantage on one of its next attacks. And then now,
Embarrassed demon bird.
yeah. I'm intimidating.
This is why we don't like humans.
Yeah. Such assholes. And then, alright, so now it's on Twitchly Switch.
Alright. So, being the extreme self-preservationist that I am,
Yeah.
I'm going to look for this area. Is there anything for me to...
It's pretty bare. There's no...
You jump off the
place to
cliff.
hide. And the sheer, it's a very, very sheer drop from here. The only kind of like
The stairs.
like
You can do
thing
the
of rock
stairs.
going up the stairs. So you can maybe like walk down a few steps if
All right.
if you're looking for a
So-
place to
so-
hide, but then you're at 80-foot range. I
Um,
don't know if that's gonna be an issue.
so I think my range with my short bow is
120.
80 feet for short range and 320 for long range.
Okay. Wow, that's fortunate.
320. Jeez.
So
That's crazy.
320
That's
you have to shoot at disadvantage, but 80 is at regular.
That's perfect. Wow.
That's
So
nice.
I'm going to take a few
Longbow
steps.
is only 150.
I'm going to take a few steps back and get a little bit out of sight, and I'm going to kind of like up and over, like kind of mortar style.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since I'm going to attack the one that
Feather
the other
Widget
witch is attacking, so
Yeah.
I get sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Does a 16 plus 7, 23 hit.
That'll hit.
Alright, so we will do some damage. Let me see what I sneak attack is for. These will be my sneak attack dice.
Oof.
And then it's a
It's a great side table, right?
It's nice to have it there. Whoa.
So 4, 7, 9, 13 plus 4, 17 points damage.
All right. So you're.
And then I use my bonus action to scamper down even a little bit further down the stairs and hide.
Sounds good. All right. So
You
then
brave man.
Self-preservation is key.
He also has like no strength and he like dies in
Yeah,
it.
he does.
I
with two
have
hits.
no health whatsoever. I've already taken damage from trying to take the stupid amulets off, and I think one of these hits might kill me. So,
True, but you should have recovered from that damage due to the fact that you took long rests on the way here.
I did
No,
not
no.
take any damage from it.
Because
tried
it
to
was
take
it was like a
ambulance
couple
we
of days.
stayed
straight.
overnight.
But he did
Yeah.
it. You did it on the first night, and it was like one night.
Oh, so I
'cause
should
you
have
guys did have
recovered
an
my
overnight.
3 points of damage from...
No, for the falling damage.
No, I
I
didn't
think.
fall.
I took falling
It
damage.
You
was-
took falling damage.
I forget what it was from.
It was from the ruin thing manifesting. It was from the demon summoning itself.
Yeah.
That was like minutes ago.
No.
Oh, that was the cold.
You're
That was
standing in
the
the
cold.
cold
Oh,
for
you're
a
right,
while.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what you tried, but
I don't remember. It seems like it's been there for a while.
it's true. Every damage does. Was this from my parents? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mom, are you always like this?
There's a lot to
God,
take.
issues, okay.
I'm never going to your ethereal plane ever. Yeah. Okay.
I don't care if it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You and
I
Uncle.
don't appreciate my turkey.
Yeah. You and Dan can have fun.
He's an asshole.
Alright, anyways.
Anyway.
Daddy issues or mommy issues. Now it's on Hypochondrius.
Cool. Am I able to get within range so that they're in a line in front of me?
You probably would have to do multiple, right? Because it's 80 feet from stairway to wall, but then getting to the side would probably be another 10 or 15 feet. So I'd say maybe like 95-foot run.
Is movement separate than my action and bonus action?
Movement is separate, but if you need to run like your movement, let's say it's 40 foot.
If I can go 60 feet, can I get in?
But you can only get to about here. You could use your action to use the rest, like to double it. So you can double your movement with, but you can also like get halfway and do one move and then save that second move for when you're a little closer.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'll move 30 and then I'm gonna Misty Step another 30.
Okay.
So that'll teleport me 30 feet further as a bonus action. So Misty Step is a bonus action. Can I do that before my action?
Misty Step?
You can use a bonus stack. You can use your actions in any order.
Yeah, you can use them in any order.
Yeah, Misty Step. And then that puts me within 20 feet, right?
Okay.
For a full action.
Yeah?
I will use... I'll just take this opportunity to True Strike. So, insight into the target's defenses. No saving throw. On my next turn, I gain advantage on my first attack roll against the target, provided the spell is still active.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't think there's any save or anything like that. It's just within 30 feet, point at a target, see what its what its defenses are.
Okay, so you want to see what its defenses are. So it has resistance against cold, fire, lightning, and it is immune to poison, and it cannot be poisoned. Is that what you're trying to check?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And it speaks Abyssal in common.
So, I guess it also
Hola.
speaks common.
Konnichiwa.
I know common and undercommon.
I can speak some orc.
I know dwarvish and gnomish.
Is undercommon like
It's
Is
like,
that like,
It's like what the drow speak.
yeah,
what do they call it? Chicken or
Oh,
Ebonics?
Drow speak undercommon like that.
yeah.
I was gonna say.
What's
So
the other one?
this dude that we're going to see that used to hang with the drow elves.
Chicken or something.
I could probably talk to
You know, might be
Pigeon,
like.
that's it.
Oh,
You'd be like, so,
Is it?
in undercommon.
I like to think like undercommon. It's like, yeah, what's
It's
up?
a bird.
How's it going?
It's kind of like Ebonics. It's kind of like
Mumble.
Elvish. It's Elvish Ebonics.
We've been talking about chicken so much.
All right, now it is on number 2. So the other summoned creature will run over, because you're right out here, right?
Me?
Yeah, because you ran forward to do your check.
Yeah.
So the other one is going to run up to you,
Good. That's great.
and it is going to. And I should roll for Paddington.
Can't touch this. We're good.
Yeah, Paddington.
Yeah, he's here. I got him. So then it's going to do a beak attack. Yeah, so that'll hit, and then the talons.
Will it?
You don't even check.
18 plus 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But
You know,
3
funny. 18
plus
minus 6
won't.
will also hit.
Turns out.
Fun fact.
Well, what about 9? Does that
9
hit?
doesn't hit.
Yay! You
Wow,
missed
that's
you
like the
missed
first
worst
roll I've
one.
ever actually.
Barely.
You missed the worst
Wow.
one. Wow. Thankfully, he's not getting much on the hit dice. All right, so you're gonna get 8 points of piercing damage as it attacks you with its beak. And you kind of it takes a chunk out of your cloth defenses, and it like whoops it down like a bird, like
I'm-
eating a thing.
Like fundamentally disgusted by a bird touching me.
I'm
Yeah.
still laughing. Like, I'm watching this and I'm just like, it's a bird. These are birds.
They are gross. They carry disease.
Birds.
I think I have the flu. Avian flu. Guys, I'm sick. I knew it.
And then I like get mad.
Somebody look this up on Arcane MD.
Kennedy.
That's good.
Yeah. So then, it is Paddington's turn. He's going to run forward to your defense, and he's going to make a claw attack. That's going to actually hit.
Nice.
It's only have to hit. Yeah. And
Ooh,
he's going to
damn.
do. I think he does 2. Ooh, dang! Go Paddington. He's going to do 13. He's going to do 15 points of slashing damage to the one that is attacking Hypochondrius. So That'll bring it down to... Okay. So now it is on... Feather Widget.
Wait. I had a. I
Oh, wait.
gone.
It's on you. Oh, I didn't get your... What was your...
Oh, I had a 7, so I was probably last.
Oh, I did not write that down. That would be my mistake. So then you and the new Morty.
Morty 2.
Evil Morty with the eye patch.
Evil Morty. Eye patch Morty, yeah.
Is this like a puppy Morty or?
No, I think he's
It's a wolf
he's
Morty.
a
He just
normal
turns out
Morty.
fully
He's just-
grown.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's fully
Just
grown,
find
but
him?
now,
Okay, got it.
yeah, we just go grab him from the ethereal plane.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just like runs out of the woods still too.
Oh, I don't know, Rick. These bird things are pretty scary.
Shut up, Morty. It's just a chicken. Alright, bonus
chicken
action. Bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
I have to pick one though.
That's right.
And, which they're both damaged, right?
Yeah, so I gotta get some little like stupid figurines, though I haven't gotten them. So one of them's here. This one's the most damaged. This one's the one attacking Hypochondrius.
Okay, I'll start on the one that's
And
less damaged.
Hypochondrius is here. Less damage?
The one
Okay.
that's going for Hypochondrius.
So yeah, so then suddenly
So mark it as my quarry, so I get an extra
a
1d6.
red, reticle appears by its head.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
E.
It's a ronde.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will go for the longbow attack,
Alright.
which I believe I'm in range for. It's 150 feet, right?
Yeah, you should be good.
16 plus 6. So 22.
Alright, that'll hit.
Nice. So 1d8 plus 3.
Dun, dun.
That's a 5 plus a another 2 for my Colossus Slayer.
Okay.
So that's 7, and then an extra 1d6 from Hunter's Mark.
Nice. Combo breaker.
2. So what did I say? 7, so that's 9.
Nice.
And then Morty, even Morty's gonna take his turn.
Nice.
Alright, well, Marty.
And then so you freaking your
that
arrow zaps against its kind of like bony bird wing, and it's like yeah. Good job.
Sorry, hold on. What's it do?
6. Math is hard.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. So plus 4 to hit. That's a 9.
All right. So is a 9. Is that your attack roll, or is that the extra damage?
That's for attack roll for Morty.
Oh yeah. So he's gonna bite and miss and be like, oh, this moves really fast, Rick. I'm trying to get the chicken. Said it was a chicken.
I like chicken.
Okay, so then it's on Paddington went, now it is on you.
Okay.
Dead
So
Allegiance.
I'm just gonna keep taking a swing at the one that is closest to me.
Okay.
What?
Oh, this was like
Oh.
big eyes for a second.
Okay, so I get 2 attacks.
I didn't
I don't
He
know.
takes another sip of burn.
Okay, I was like, I don't know. Alright.
I wasn't sure what I missed either.
18 for my first attack.
18? Okay,
Yeah.
that'll hit.
And then I'll do my second attack is a 10 again.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
not been rolling well in those second attacks. Alright, so
Mm.
12 damage.
Okay, 12 damage?
Yep.
Alright, so it goes. Looks really pissed. You done pissed it off.
Good.
And now it's no longer paralyzed by anxiety, of its.
Did it roll at disadvantage?
Oh, it hasn't yet. Actually, maybe it'll be after this turn. But it is on Lexi first.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to Feather Widget
Mm-hmm.
and cast a first level Cure Wounds, which will be 1d8 plus 4.
Oh, dang.
So
Big
you'll get 6 points of healing.
Sweet.
Because of my nifty ability, I get 3 points of healing.
Nice.
Dang.
You just selfishly wanted to heal
That was a little bit.
didn't you? I was like, I don't need it that bad, but I'll take it.
And then with my see, I'm just gonna save the spell slots. Feeling pretty good about where we're at with this one.
Oh, man.
So I'll just hang out.
What's so funny?
Just all the fun that's going to happen for you guys.
Great.
Oh boy.
So,
Save this.
is on the way.
Huh? Yeah.
So then suddenly the bird lets out a, or sorry, the demon lets out a horrified shriek.
It's a bird, let's be honest.
The demon bird lets out a horrified shriek, and it's a demon shriek. So it lets out this ear-piercing shriek that kind of just echoes across the mountains, and everyone within a 15-foot radius, which is everyone standing close, because you have to lay on hands by running up. You're, I think, just a little ways out of range. You're back here.
I'm 20
So yeah,
feet
that's
away from
more.
that one, right?
Yeah, that's more. All right, so everyone in the 15-foot radius, give me a con saving throw.
Wait, the rest of us are we? Are Twitchley and I in range?
Because you walked up to attack. No, you shot your longbow, so you're probably back.
At,
So we're
at, the
both
one,
far
at the
away.
one
Yeah,
fighting
you both
me.
are back with
We're
Twitchley.
providing the
So you two are back there providing
He's
artillery.
actually back down, haggling for a donkey again.
I was real bitter about not getting that negotiation to go my way.
How does 11
Crit
work
fail.
for you?
Crit fail, so you got a 1. Okay.
11?
That'll also fail. So both of you are suddenly frozen by the horrible sound, and you are
Is it-
stunned until
Is it
the next
fear
turn.
or is it actual
It's
froze?
paralysis. You are stunned until the next turn. It's actually called stunned. So you cannot take an action. So you miss your next turn, pretty much. So now it is on Twitch to switch. So you see all your allies just like suddenly freeze that are near this thing, which just made its ear-splitting scream.
So I take a quick look down the stairs and just consider what would happen if I left. Just briefly.
Can get my life back. But then
I see him looking and I grab on his shirt.
like the
And then, so
Don't
how,
you dare.
how far away are we from them right now?
You're at the foot of the stairs. You're about 80 feet from each.
Okay.
Maybe the one that attacked. Sorry, I misspoke. The one that attacked Hypochondrius is maybe about 60 feet from you.
Okay. I'll just take another shot at the one that's closest to Feather Widget
Okay.
with my short bow.
All right. Another arc shot.
That's not going to do it. That's an 11.
That'll miss. So Twitchy Switch is like looking behind him and like, oh god, I should get out. The arrow goes wide. Now it is on Hypochondrius.
All right. I would like to use the old man's staff.
Yeah.
I'd like to break out the old man's staff.
Heyo.
Show these birds what's up.
Do
It's
it.
not the first time.
So the way I'd like to do it, I choose
First
a point within 60 feet.
Yep.
I want to choose a point on the wall where the rune is that he spawned out of.
Okay.
And it has a 10-foot range around that. He's within 10 feet of the rune still?
So this one is within 10 feet of the rune, but also I think Feather Widget and...
Am I able to position it along the wall in a way that the radius encompasses him to one side?
we'll say sure this time,
Okay.
because I think they both came from one side. So if they were attacking away, sure.
Okay. So I'd like to do that. Do you know what level Shatter is cast?
It's level 2.
At level 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's a level 2.
So, and clarifying, you said he is resistant to lightning, but not thunder damage.
That is correct.
Okay.
Is that a thing? Oh.
Apparently.
I would have thought they might be the same, but
Given that one is just noise.
Thunder is probably just
That's true.
sound waves.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So this does thunder damage. So it has to make a Constitution saving throw of 14. In which case it would take half damage.
Just hit the save, 14.
Cool. So it'll take half damage from 3d8.
All right.
Nice.
Very good, very
As will any. He has disadvantage if he is stone, crystal, or metal, which it does not sound like he is.
No.
Even though the word rock is in his
Yeah.
name. So. But non-magical objects do take damage, so I don't know if the rune also takes damage, and if that even affects him.
The
at this
rune
point.
will break as you do that, but unfortunately, now that its summoning is complete,
Okay.
it won't do any additional
figured.
damage to it.
So he takes. What is that? Ooh,
But you guys started him at half life, pretty much.
8, 1,
It's always the one.
5. So 14. Thunder divided by 2 is 7.
Okay. So 7 points
of thunder, damage.
to the one by Feather Widget.
And then I want to use my movement to actually get a... I'll move 30 feet closer to that one, but I want to go to the far corner.
Okay, so you're next to this one, and you're gonna go over to here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get an attack of opportunity as you disengage, since you already used your action. If that's
I thought he was
okay.
like 20 feet away though.
No, this one walked up to him, and then
Yeah, that one walked
attacked
up
him.
to me.
So you can disengage. It's usually not a bad option.
Yeah,
because it's
I'll
gonna be a
take
weaker attack.
I'll take the attack of
Because otherwise you're gonna get his multi attack probably.
Yep.
So you're gonna disengage, go over there. You're gonna take 8 plus does a 12 hit.
Just. Yeah.
All right. So doodly 2d6. Yeah. 10 points of slashing damage.
That's
So it kind of catches you as you try to hurry over to your other allies, and you get behind Feather Widget, who is also kind of on that side. So Feather Widget is here between you and the cleric over here.
Can I be frozen like this?
Yeah,
Offside.
confirmed.
As I pass, I look a little disgusted. Just
Like,
it's unfortunate.
Poor. It's like all the photos.
That's what I post on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
Don't go out to have friends.
All right. So now it is on. Hypochondrius. Now it is on. PKL Recal.
Kill recount? Oh, since both of them are frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they haven't even missed their turn yet. It's gonna be. You guys are gonna have to carry hard in a little bit.
Okay.
Because each of them.
But just stand behind me. I'll be a human shield or half orc, half elf shield.
Alright. I stay where I am, hidden sort of behind the stairs. And I'm gonna take another longbow shot at the same one that I was attacking.
All right. And that was the one that was attacking Hypochondrius, right?
This red one.
Yeah, the red one. Okay, cool. All right.
So 21.
That'll hit.
Those dice are really working well for you.
Yeah. You got him on the weighted D20 site. It always rolls a 20. 20% of the time.
27.
So that's 7 plus 2 is 9 and 3 is 12. So 12 points of damage.
12 points damage. Alright, so it'll... And this one is actually starting to look pretty rough, because remember, it did come out of that rune kind of beat up from its journey over. So it's kind of
Thank God.
looking a little...
Alright, and Morty will roll. He gets a 20, I think.
Okay.
16 plus.
Yes, Morty! Oh, yeah, I can't.
Morty,
say
go
anything.
Morty! Good boy!
I'm frozen, but I'm like, go Morty. Go Morty. Go
Alright.
Morty.
And then
Little
4
ventriloquist.
plus 2.
Morty, you can do it.
1. 4, 6 damage.
6 damage? Alright, so Morty... And what was the attack roll it had?
Oh, it's 20.
Okay, yeah. So then Morty is like, oh, I'll do better this time, Rick, I promise. And then, boom, 6 damage and rips up some of its, like, kind of, its tendony leg. And, tears
Is the
it up.
target a creature?
It is indeed.
It must succeed on DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
It's a demon. Does that count as a creature? I guess so. Yeah, demon.
Help.
Let's say.
I'm sorry, I was reading cutting actions.
Now, is demon a creature? Or is a creature different?
Is a demon a creature?
Yeah.
Are these
Wait,
bird
within-
thingies
In the
creatures?
confines of D&D.
I would call them creatures.
Alright, that's
What's
And
And I'll
the
say
range?
everything
wait.
is everything
it's
that's living a
it's
creature.
the wolf
It is-
attacks the creature, yeah.
If it's a creature,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
succeed
I
on a
think
DC
I don't
11.
think creature's like a type. I think creature is a.
Oh, it's something physical that
Any
can be
living
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
not like an elemental or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, so then what was the save I had to make?
DC 11 strength.
Alright, well I failed, so it's like... And it's like... Morty's like, oh, I knocked it down, Rick. I think it's dead.
Good job, Morty.
But it's not dead. Morty's wrong.
Shut up, Morty.
Don't be too proud of yourself, Marty.
So it's looking pretty rough though. It's like kind of strange blood is like oozing into like the stone beneath, and it's looking really rough. And it is on the.
Does Paddington go?
It is on Paddington. Yes, who's going to attack that one? I think. So Paddington's going to hit. Go Paddington.
Paddington is not
6.
failed.
Wow, Paddington.
Attack roll
4.
yet.
So Paddington's gonna. Paddington, I think, is gonna kill it.
Nice.
So Paddington is like.
How do you want to do this, Paddington?
Paddington looks at him on the ground and just like puts his stony foot over his head and just splatter, and it's gone. So it's like.
Stone cold.
And Paddington just like dusts some dirt off his shoulder, and is like. Shrugs. And then now it is on.
Paddington
I'm a little
shrug.
attracted to
Yeah.
God dang, Paddington. That was like
Damn,
nothing.
Paddington.
What's that?
Damn, Paddington.
Damn, Paddington. Damn, Daniel. Alright, now it is
More like
on.
Daddington.
Paddington.
Hey.
So, you two miss your turns. It is back onto the first creature, and it is looking like it's like kind of back into a corner. It's
Is
like
this the one closest to
the one that paralyzed them. So it's going to put one of its claws on the ground, and this kind of strange green gas is going to extend out from around it. And everybody give me a con saving throw.
Even it's frozen.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody nearby. So that'll include all 3 of you. Yeah, it's you two are fine, and your dog. And your little dog, too.
18.
18.
15.
Playing some
15,
pancakes
succeed,
over here.
succeed.
Yay!
Woo! We're not paralyzed and poisoned.
Ooh,
I'm only frozen on the inside.
13. 13.
13, okay. So you get poisoned, so you're going to take...
Maybe in help there, buddy.
Not so good.
So you're going to take 3 points of poison damage, and you will be poisoned at the start of your next turn. That means everything you do will be at disadvantage.
Oh, it's not damage though.
Wow.
I think it's you get 3 points of damage,
3
but then all your other moves are going to be disadvantage.
Get you away from it?
And then
You're not paralyzed, right?
No, he's not paralyzed. He's just going to be disadvantaged. And then it's going to use its other attack to mutilate the feather widget who's closest. Ooh, I am so sorry. I critted.
That's fine. I'm the tank.
2d10 times 2.
I got
8.
nothing. I got nothing.
17.
What is this shit?
17, 27, 37. Wow.
Holy shit.
And
What type of damage is it?
plus 3 slashing.
Perfect. So
So it's-
37.
Yeah, so it's
So
going to do
18.
37 slashing damage.
So 18.
18 slashing damage. So it goes and
I'm
attacks
fine.
you
I have
because
56.
it is looking
I got
desperate.
56 health
There's
left,
lots of
guys.
blood and
Wow.
this kind of green ichor like oozing out of it, and it's like looking
That's
kind of
why I'm
haggard.
at
Like
the
one of
front,
its
so I take-
double jointed bones is like a little bit distended.
It's like Diablo running
Or
out
take
into the middle of
damage over
nowhere.
time.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe it
Take
does,
it.
but it seemed like 3 damage
Yeah.
or something. Like
Wait,
that.
was 37...
We
What
could-
are you
we
in a
could
rage
take
also?
poison after.
So I
The
took
health
half
is more
damage.
concerning.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
and I took
Oh,
it's only for slashing. but for
no,
rage.
but it's piercing, slashing, and
Bludgeoning.
bludgeoning.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Which is what that was, right?
Slashing.
It was
yeah,
slashing.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So
So you take reduced from
I take
those
half damage.
When she's
during
in
rage.
Yeah.
okay, so it's looking pretty rough. It is on switch to switch.
Okay, so I'll step up a bit. How close can I get? How far? Because I have 25 feet of walking speed or running speed.
25 feet, so you can get within 40 maybe. Like, 'cause it's 80 foot. You're 80 feet away, so actually no, it's going to be more like, 55, whatever.
Okay. And then I will use my bonus action to go another. Actually, no, I won't.
You have to use your full action, right, to sprint?
Rogues can take the dash as their bonus.
Oh, okay.
But I'll stay back. I'll just take
You have such slow movement. That's crazy.
because I'm a nova.
Little legs.
Yep. So I'll just
I
take
understand.
I'll take a short bow shot. And that's going to miss terribly at the 10.
Okay, well, Twitchley's still reeling from his like fearful encounter. Another boom, shoots off. And then it is on Hypochondrius.
Alrighty. Let's do... Yeah, I'll use a I'm gonna keep it simple here. I will use a first level magic missile on him.
Okay.
I'm banking on what's gonna come up after this, and then save some spell slots.
Yeah, he looks like
He looks. I think we can handle this. Yeah, first level magic missile. So that is 3d4 plus 3.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. 3, 1. So 7 plus 3, 10 points of damage.
All right. How do you want to do this?
Nice.
Yeah.
We're just gonna focus right in on its stupid bird face.
Yeah.
I just want each one to land precisely on the beak, shattering it and knocking it back as far away from me as possible because birds
It's
are
gross,
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's very gross.
How many motes? 3 missiles? Yeah,
yeah.
so 3 motes of light just converge and coalesce and hit it right in the beak. You see just kind of like bits of splinter, but you can't see because the light's so bright and so cleansing as the bird is shoved back and toppled off the edge of the mountain. And you just hear it.
I laugh. I just
Winner,
Stupid
winner, chicken
dead
dinner.
birds.
Oh, it's still falling.
Oh, it's just- it's still got a long way to go.
Like the winner chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, so the runes have been destroyed and ruined, and you kind of it's kind of like quiet falls over the mountainside, and you just see like the path continue to go on.
Well, shall we? Or should we? How do you guys feel? I feel wonderful.
I feel like I could
Yeah.
use a drink.
I have some spiced fire water.
Unless that can get back 21 points of health.
Probably
You
not.
never
It
know
can
until
make
you
you
try.
not feel the pain though.
I could use some healing. That's for sure. Should
I would like
should
some
we?
fire
So
water.
are we freezing to death still on this
You can have some
platform,
spiced
or?
fire water.
It is
Oh.
only at where you're standing. No,
Constitution.
where you're standing. No.
She takes a drink of my spiced
I
fire
had
water.
some fire water.
Spiced fire water.
It's spice?
Yeah.
Well, too late. I already did.
All right. So suddenly, you realize
I'm just
that
so excited from winning the battle with
you
the
realize
dogs.
1 that you can totally fly, if you feel like it, and 2 you're surrounded by like a turtle, a chicken, a cat, and a walking burrito.
Which one is which?
Turtle, chicken, cat, walking burrito.
Yep. I haven't had anyone look at me that way in a long time.
At the cleric's landing.
Wait, but we just fought chickens. Wouldn't she want to fight the chicken?
Maybe it's a different looking chicken.
Yeah, it looks like an actual little
Okay,
plump
good.
chicken.
I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt.
And then something with Morty's voice is you hear Morty's voice, but it's actually a like dinner plate, and it's like, oh Rick, you're looking kind of strange.
Morty?
Yeah.
Who ate you?
So yeah, it's just as a dinner plate, but it moves around. And like.
What's more?
I gotta see
Do you
about
spice?
Morty.
She spices.
She spices.
She spices.
So
Turtle.
give me a Constitution saving throw. Give me a con saving throw.
Oh, brother.
Only the hardcore people spice, man. But
I thought it was
Some
just
good
a
stuff.
normal fire.
Do we-
water.
I
do
wasn't
we
paying
want-
attention.
Do we want to short
Just
rest?
in character.
Yeah, maybe we should short rest. I don't know if we trust short resting on this random plateau in front of this guy's house, but
Well, what happens if you have a short rest interrupted?
16?
short rests are pretty short. They're like an hour, so you won't usually get too much of an interruption. So you probably
Even if you did, it's not like you're like going to sleep.
no. You're just like
Yeah.
checking in. Yeah, so you can probably do short rest pretty safely.
okay.
I got a 16.
16. So for a second, you like really want to try out your new ability to fly because you haven't been able to
Guys.
fly before. But then suddenly, like some voice in the back of your mind is like, "Maybe this isn't a good idea."
And
And
suddenly
you're
a
able
voice
to
loud
cut.
and clear says, "You do you."
So yeah, so you're able to kind of hold back your initial impulse to immediately try your flying skills, but like the chicken is like, flying's great.
Shut up, chicken. What do you know about
Weaknights.
I can do it. Yeah.
Wait, do I see her? Can I like stop her from flying?
So she just hasn't made a move yet. She's just kind of like anticipation. But yeah, so yeah, you can take a short rest. So you all take a short rest. Roll your short rest hit die.
Do one more.
Recover your health.
Nice.
You are
Okay,
still
how
the effects of spice are somewhat, especially the spiced fire water, are somewhat lasting. So you're still kind of feeling groovy. Up till.
Okay, so if I just out of
Cool.
curiosity
Okay,
here,
that's a little.
features and trades.
So what is supposed to happen?
Once per day when I
A certain
finish a
number
short
of
rest,
dice, you
I
use
can
however many
choose
you want, but
expended
you
spell
only have
slots
that
to
many
recover up
until
to
your
command
next
level
rest.
4.
So use 3. You just
Wait, no,
roll
but no, that
or
doesn't-
like,
where's
you
the
roll
other
D10,
thing?
See, oops.
The hit dice?
Oh, it has a plus to it. I don't know
How much you recover on a short rest?
that. So you roll it how many times?
Yeah,
you roll
usually
it.
your hit.
How
dice
long
are
is this short
2d8.
rest?
It's just like an hour probably usually.
Okay, not 4 hours.
I almost
Yeah.
went back.
Because 4 hours.
That's usually like closer to a long rest, I think. I could be wrong, but
Does it
I think
So,
short rest
base-
is just an
base-
hour.
Short rest is an hour because it says because I have trance where I meditate semi-consciously for 4 hours a day. And after resting this way, you gain the same benefit a human does after 8 hours, which is a long rest, right?
Yeah,
So,
but
if we're-
I think we're probably doing only an hour. My guess, and you guys can stay here for 4 hours if you so choose. It's a little exposed
I would get to 4.
up here on the mountainside, so there could be some risks in terms of staying here for that long. You guys haven't noticed anything yet, but yeah, it's a little exposed.
Okay, so if I do short rest, how do I?
You can use however many. You have a certain number of hit die,
Uh-huh.
and you can use however many you want, but you only have that many until your next long rest. So I have like 7, so you can use 1, you can use 7, you can use 4, and just roll it however many
What
times
is-
you want. You
So
get that
you
many
can
points
roll
back.
a 1d6 plus 1 7 times.
What does recover that checkbox mean? Is that my arcane recovery? Do you have that
I
on
don't
short
know, I
rest?
have that, but I don't know what that means.
I think that's just if you want to assume you have the best possible rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then if I do arcane recovery, which is once per day, I can recover spell slots.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Which it seems kind of inefficient right now because I've only cast 2 spells, one at first level, one at second level, so I'm gonna save it.
Get a second level back.
But I think that uses that trait for the day.
Who knows?
I can cast.
Both.
I have some heals. I can heal you. Or you make him heal you.
Well, let me just do my short rest, and I won't use arcane recovery. Yeah, I won't use it right now. I'll save it just in case. So I'm gonna short rest, and then I'll use. I need 21 points of health back. Out of. So. 4, right?
Yeah,
So I just.
and then you'll have another short rest if you need it to use their other 3 hit dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take short
and then
rest.
you should have an addition on top of it.
Oh, when you do this, does it roll for you?
You can roll, I think, usually.
Mine did not.
It's usually D something plus something.
Okay, so I'm doing 4. 3, 6, 2,
Yeah.
2.
It's really nice. You can actually see.
Is there a plus on
I'm gonna get
top?
like a metric
Mine is like
estimate of seeds because I'm gonna want to see.
Plus 1d6 plus 1 per
Okay, so you
die.
add one per die.
So how many times did you roll it?
Yeah, one hit die is 1d6 plus 1.
I think the plus one is to the whole thing.
Oh, for your hit die, you get the +1 your con bonus for every roll.
Oh, for every. Oh, really?
So
Yeah,
if
so
it's
like
a hit die is worth 1d6 plus 1. So if I roll
Yeah.
4,
Oh, dang.
that's 4d6,
Is
which was that we said 13
Well,
plus 4, so
because mine was
17 max.
1d12
Perfect.
plus 4, so I should get a 1d12. I should add 4 to
Awesome.
each dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost full health then. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause if you think about it, you could have used in multiple short
Yeah.
rests. You could have used
That's
like
true.
hit
Fuck.
dice separately.
Have the vape.
Yeah, it needs juice though.
I got some. I can also get you one of it if you guys want it.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I needed to fill. I was like, oh, this is very low.
You're right.
There's so many grabs that I can
All right.
fill
So
in and let it
so
sit
the
for
stairs
a
extend.
second.
What's that?
If somebody goes to grab it, I can fill it and then let it sit for a couple minutes.
Yeah. So the stairs keep extending upward the way down. As you can see, all those little torches that kind of sat, maybe about 10, 15 feet apart, start flicking out, and they just keep flicking out as they go up the hill.
Are they normal fires? Or they like
You can tell they're powered by some sort of arcane source. But yeah, they all start just kind of going out.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Beggars and choosers.
Yeah,
I know. I know you don't like
there,
that
I
one
didn't
that
want
much.
it.
Yeah, I just don't know where it is, honestly. I'm a punk. But yeah, so the torches start flicking out, and you can tell that as they do, the cold in the air starts getting much more oppressive. So everybody give me a con saving throw.
Oh, again?
I feel oppressed.
Yeah. It starts making you do
Oh,
labor.
another critical
25.
fail.
Okay.
That is a nat 20.
Oh. So you won't have to make successive rolls. So everybody who does it only takes 2 points of cold damage.
Under 10.
Under 10.
I'm 11.
Okay, so then
I'm actually sweating a
the
little
air
bit. I'm
starts.
like rolling up my sleeves.
Woo! Hi,
Is it
guys,
feeling
how y'all
toasty
feeling?
in here? Yeah.
Everyone's like bleeding cold and it's freezing. Their lips are cracking. But yeah, the air starts getting more colder and colder.
Cold heart.
All right, so y'all want to keep regrouping down there, or you guys want to keep
Let's
cranking?
going.
Keep moving.
All right, so as you keep going up the stairs, a small pavilion starts coming into view, and it seems to be like a bigger platform, like about 3, 4, 5 times the size of this, with like a little house, and you can just see some like some kind of tilled, like some just like almost a shrubbery, as it were, with some
Can I?
with some like soil where there's some like little plants growing and stuff. Under like some very heavy protection and some like of those torches around it. Yeah.
Am I able to send a message without seeing the person?
Don't you have that message thing?
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah, but
it
it doesn't
I'm saying,
know how to
dude,
end.
Does message
I don't
require
think
you to see?
so. I think you have to be line of sight. I don't know.
Probably says.
Yes. I have to point my finger toward a creature within range, 120 feet. Yeah, never mind. You can cast it through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. I don't know that. Never mind. Okay.
Okay. So as you all go up the cliff or go up the stairway, you start noticing some kind of odd objects. One looks like a gallows, which is sort of like a stand set up with like a hangman's noose in it. The other looks like kind of like almost like a guillotine with like kind of a like sharp-sided blade.
Do they look like they've been recently used?
So you can't really see from now. The gallows, like the trap door is open, and the rope for the noose has been cut. So there used to be a noose there, but it was cut. And you hear some banging, like just like. But you can only see the very top of the guillotine, and there's like some other objects you can't see further back as you're starting to ascend. And then you hear just some like mumbling of someone working by themselves, And as you get to the top of the mountain, as you get to the crest, you see this like little kind of macabre little display of all these different kind of murder weapons lying around and all these different things.
I like this guy.
And but so as you look over to the as you look over to the guillotine, you see this kind of white-haired old man with kind of crazy-looking eyes put his head under the guillotine and pull the lever, and the blade comes in, chops his head off, and he falls limp.
Hello, friend. Are you
Does he
alright?
hear me?
He doesn't respond.
Wait, so
This is a funny place, isn't it?
wait. So the guy put his own head in the guillotine
Yeah, and pulled the lever.
and pulled the lever and
Was
chopped
that
his head.
Gerald's?
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I think this is an illusion or not?
Yeah.
Can I? Will my spare the dying cantrip do anything?
You can go up and try.
I go up and try.
So you go
what
up
does dying do?
and press your hand on
It
it. But even
Stabilize.
Wait, should we have
Yeah.
kids? Our kids?
Well, it's pretty hard to stabilize the
4.
heading, but
it looks real.
I'm
So-
terrified.
Yeah. So as you walk up to this guy, suddenly like the body like twitches, and you can continue to move forward. But you notice the head starts rolling back
I stop.
towards the body, and it reattaches itself, and the skin starts to heal over. And you hear like kind of like a really annoyed voice be like, "God, no! I thought that was gonna work for sure." And then he goes over and starts. You see kind of this like flustered-looking old man with like kind of wild, wide eyes. Just like immediately run over to the noose and starts retying a noose in like the gallows.
It's okay. You just lost your head for a moment.
Oh man, he's definitely
Can I-
near. He's definitely near immortal and just wants to die.
can I try again and just be like, "Hello, friend."
Visitors! Didn't my guardians kill you? And
What,
he
the
just
birds? No, they're
knew
birds. For
I
God's
forget
sake.
better ones. And then you see he starts to like mutter to himself, like I need to get a new.
Sir, we would.
And he runs over to the gallows and starts trying to like tie him.
How many times have you tried that?
Well, how many? What is it? Is it still the year 1422?
Yes.
Well, I guess since this year,
What year
since
is it?
it's 2000, 3000.
I'll take your word for it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
We would like to help you in exchange for some information.
Help me. You can kill me then.
Yes.
Wonderful. What can I do for you?
Our dear friend Salam.
So give me a deception check, because do you actually believe you can kill him?
Yes, 100.
So persuade. Give me a persuasion check then.
Okay. 13.
I think we
12.
can.
Yep. I have I know a couple guys that I'm pretty confident could do some killing.
Oh, here I go, kill again.
Oh Well, maybe we should ask the amulets first.
I'm like
Can I?
I'm going
Can I
into
advise that to
this.
you?
15. 15.
Yeah, but maybe this guy.
15. So he believes you. He says,
Alright.
oh, thank the dark depths below. I've been unable to.
Yes, we think they'll be involved.
Yes, most
What is
likely.
it like to live forever?
Well, when the world is going to hell, it's pretty crappy. I mean, look around. Everything is falling to chaos. I don't want to live in a world I couldn't save. And he takes
That's
he
fine.
takes a knife and starts cutting up his arms, but nothing happens. And the blood comes out, and it kind of goes back in.
But don't you get to
And he
see
goes,
the
no,
world?
and he throws it aside. What's
You
that?
can travel the world. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. What world will there be left to travel? And there's all those. The eye is coming back again, and there's nothing we can do.
Eyes?
Yes, I lived by. That's where I first got my power.
The eyes?
And he's not
I
really
feel like I
connecting
understand
thoughts.
him because he's insane.
Yeah, you feel like you're tracking with it, but it's just your like barbarian sense of connecting with people, where like you literally have no idea what he's saying, but you're like,
No, I get it.
I get it. Yeah,
I
like
do.
wow, I felt that way too sometimes.
Am I still high? Am I following this conversation, or am I too high?
You noticed, like, so what you saw was, you saw a bunch of, garden flowers, like big garden flowers, like this. Like one of them like has like kind of like a lotus or something, where like the flower is kind of leaning down, but it looked like it had been cut. Another one was like a really fast moving flower that was like dropping a set of acorns, like suddenly fell from this tree, and this chipmunk has been really like he fell. He tried to eat one of the acorns, but it didn't work, and then he's been running around like trying to eat a bunch of little acorns. Says, pardon me? Yes, exactly. Aren't we all? And he like just runs around and grabs like some sort of substance.
Fire water on the head.
He says,
I feel like you need this.
"Is that poison?" And he grabs it and drinks it.
There's 2 charges of spiced fire water.
Oh yeah, so he drinks the second charge. The bottles.
There's 2 charges left in there.
There's 2. Do you want to drink all of it? Because he's going to try to drink all of it.
That's fine.
So he slugs the whole thing, and no, even the poison doesn't work, and you see actually the fluid flow back out of his mouth and go into the cup.
I'll keep it anyways.
And he's like, I can't even imbibe poisons. Only potatoes for 1,000 years.
Have you tried killing yourself?
He goes,
No, but like, have you tried killing yourself though? I just think it's an idea.
I'm sure the guillotine was just.
So he's gonna make that. That's gonna hit
guy.
a nerve. That's gonna hit a nerve for him. So he's gonna make a small attack on you because that is gonna hit a nerve. So that is gonna be does a 16 hit?
No.
So he just kind of and like just kind of like he's like, get this person away from me, and like just makes like a blind swipe.
Sir.
But you see something like there's some sort of like really like echoing like blue light that like follows his hand as he swipes at you, and like you are really glad it didn't connect. Suddenly you have that realization, like, man, I'm glad it didn't hit me.
Well, we would be, if you could spare a moment, we would be happy to end your life in exchange for some information. You're welcome to follow.
Yeah, of course. He's disjointed thought, but he says, okay, perhaps, yes, of course we can help. What information? What now?
We are seeking these magical amulets that are seemingly hell-bent on destroying the world.
That's
far as we can
make
tell.
A lot of sense.
Yes.
You're a madman.
I've heard. I don't know much.
Salam sent us.
I don't have anything to do with it.
Salami.
Can I make an insight check?
Does that name mean anything to him? Salami.
That is to see if he's lying. That is a 20.
So yeah, he knows way more about these amulets than he is letting on.
And I'll just casually drop from the background and say, well, I guess if they're hell-bent on destroying the world, that would mean you too. And just try to like pepper that in.
Well, they'll have a little trouble killing me, And he just like laughs and he's like, and he just a little bit of slaver.
Well, if you don't want the easy way out here, we'll just be on our way.
Well, I mean, if you can kill me, that would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, we would do that in a heartbeat if only you provided us just a little more information. I don't get the sense that you are that ignorant about this subject. You seem to know quite a lot.
Well,
I've read about you in history books for many years.
Well, I've made a few bargains in my time. I will say.
So why not one more?
And he's like, you must really try to kill me, and I must warn you that it's not just me you have to kill.
Who is it that you've made a bargain with?
Well, me and a few friends many old years ago decided to tap into some powers, as they say, and well, we built it was actually a large disc, an obelisk. It was the headstone of an obelisk that could reach out. Me and my dear old drow friends, they're long since gone. They all were consumed, and and so it was very unfortunate that I'd already, in fact, made a pact for immense power, and it couldn't kill me, but it could definitely cause quite a bit of pain. You understand? Because my dear old demon has been with me for quite some time.
Oh, this demon, you say?
Yes.
And what might his name be?
Good old Zardock has been behind me for quite many years. I think that's from some movie I made. I'll have to write that down.
Well,
What else is around? He's in this like temple thing.
Yeah, it's an old pavilion. It looks like it used to be somewhere that had like there's like old remains of nice furniture. Like there's well carved wood, but it's broken. There's kind of like a really ratty bed that just seems to be made out of like old potato plant leaves and straw. And this like it's a very like the pavilion, like the rock itself is almost flawless, where it's like this perfect marble, like a few pillars with like kind of like a screen to like a more private area where there's like a little bench where someone would hypothetically go and like ask wisdom from the
Can I
sage.
just ask then, what are you so afraid of? If you're immortal.
Well, I mean, immortals can get tortured, can't they? It's just
Torture yourself on a daily basis.
let's say our upcoming friend has a bit of a grudge, and he just starts laughing and
you torture yourself on a daily basis, don't you?
little pains like this are nothing.
I'm gonna try to calm him because I still think he's a chipmunk. I'm getting him.
And you hear him go like,
Who's the friend? What was this friend that you're worried about?
and it's and you're just like, yes, thank you very much.
Does it have any effects or no?
He just acknowledges that you're petting him, but he's just so scatterbrained. It's just you're just petting him.
Who
and
is
he's
this
like,
friend? Who's this
thank
friend
you.
that he mentions?
Well, a very old friend who's coming awake very, very soon, if my predictions are correct.
Well, if it is okay with you, please tell us more about this friend. We'd love to hear your story.
Well, you swear that you'll kill me.
Of course.
And make sure to
Trust
do it
me,
right.
I want nothing more than to kill you right now.
Much obliged.
Chipmunk!
Much obliged.
He's very scatterbrained and frightening.
Yeah.
He makes me...
So he says,
Maybe
well,
I need to
the drow elves and I, the drows and I were trying to forge some very, very powerful weapons. We had, a few neighbors we didn't get along with too well, and we summoned an elemental power to bring their master to life, to grant us great ability, the elemental eye. So we fused 4 elemental heralds into an epic plate of one of crafted by one of the great elf queens at the time, one of my very good friend Deidre. But she's unfortunately dead because everybody died once we summoned it.
So I'm guessing... Let me just jump to the gun here. I'm guessing
Yeah.
that these heralds that you summoned are not contained within amulets. Is this correct?
The plate was lost. And we found it, and we tried to shatter it, but it because my power is kind of involved in its forging, it's kind of hard to kill. And
My
so
question is then, your power was involved in its forging.
Yes.
So is your power enough to destroy these amulets?
Oh no, I was there when we could only split them apart, herald by herald.
Can we reasonably... He's scatterbrained, but can we reasonably assume at this point we're talking about the same thing?
Go ahead and give an insight check.
Since I'm talking,
Seems
talking,
legit.
That's a 4.
You believe it.
Yeah,
Every
so
word
those
is
are-
insight.
yeah.
since I'm listening, can I also do an insight check?
Yeah.
9.
Every word is true. You.
But
you
I
think
still
he's
know.
telling
I
the
still know from earlier that he knows something about the amulets because
Yeah.
I mentioned
Yeah.
it, and we had the insight earlier. That
And you guys haven't mentioned who sent you, I don't think, yet either.
Someone named dropped
I said Salam.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's like, well, Salam was, one of our companion's descendants, kind woman she was. Unfortunate for her to have to deal with these times. I imagine
She's dead.
her family's magic is fading. Yes, that probably that would make absolute sense. Yes,
She's
good
dead.
for her. Good for her.
She died.
And he's like really offended
Can
at
I-
you.
can
And
I
he's
send
kind of
a-
like, he's like, why are you rubbing it in? She got to get away with
Can
it.
I send a message to Twitchly and ask if, since we're all familiar with how the amulets work, if he wants to not kill, but maybe dwindle the life force of our friend
I
here?
have some thoughts, and I'll talk to my dear friend, the
Ready to
first
go.
one, not the second one. But this is,
Yeah.
and I'll say,
The second one's me.
our dear friend here seems to be in quite the tough spot. Would you mind? You mentioned a demon that is within him, Zardoc.
Oh, yes.
Now, you, by any chance, wouldn't have the ability to contact said demon for me, would you?
Yes. That is a tricky prospect, but one that I believe we can manage. We can at least summon dear Zardoc and...
We're not trying to summon, just have a casual conversation. Now, I believe that he is tormenting my dear friend here, who would desperately like to be relieved of his life. I would like to provide him that opportunity, of course.
Of course. Understandable.
But I would also, I have a sneaking suspicion that this demon is not going to relinquish his life so carelessly. So I would simply like to know what this demon would like in exchange for relinquishing this man's life.
And then it says, a bargain struck, a bargain made, and it's like voice changes as it's like bargains seem to be very important to these types of things. It's like, and yes, perhaps some negotiation could be in order, of course, but Zardoc is quite fickle, as they say, and quite stubborn. One of the reasons our dear friend has continued to exist despite his best efforts.
All I'm saying is, I believe in your ability to find out what he would like and then bring that information back to me. I trust that this is within your abilities, correct?
We can call Zardoc, sir, but that is the extent of our
You want
capabilities.
in no way, shape, or form to bring a demon into our presence.
If a bargain is proposed, we may be able to bring one to him, sir. He will perhaps come in peace if there's some money on the table, as they say.
I shall discuss particularly with Wexley, because if shit goes bad with the demon, I feel like he's the one that's going to have to save us.
Yeah.
So I'll let everyone know and just say, so we have an opportunity. The demon that seems to be possessing our rather flamboyant friend over here.
Missed that.
Yeah. We have the opportunity to potentially bargain with the one who has grips on this man's life for the low price of allowing him to temporarily enter our world with us. Thoughts?
Enter the world?
Concerns?
Can we meet
Opinions?
him in an ethereal plane? Are you choosing?
Not today.
I'm
I'm feeling like I could maybe rest for a little bit.
And while you guys are discussing, the sage has like gone off and he's started to try to cut himself. He's still tying up the noose, and he's like setting up another noose for hanging.
well, he'll be.
Can I do an
Can I
Arcana
consult
check
him?
on what I know about bargaining with demons?
Yes, give me an Arcana check.
So that would be
We'll start casting
21.
shit at him.
21. So you know that even if the demon is not necessarily strong, when they grant a deal, it is backed by all the power at kind of their domain's disposal. So Zardoc may not be a really powerful demon, but his word is kind of truth. And if he says this person can't die, this person cannot die. So yeah, there is also a bargain can be a lot of different things, and generally demons are interested in either assuming power for themselves or gaining power over someone else. So so those are kind of the things that maybe this guy used to bargain with.
I can actually be on the only I can be on the ethereal plane,
Oh.
but that I can go strike a bargain
Good luck.
very quickly.
Bye.
But
I do have a spell that can banish things back to
useful.
their original
Maybe
plane.
Cast out demons. That'd be sick.
I'll throw this over at our friend.
Yes, sir. And he's like timing his.
And I'll just
Said
say,
you could kill me.
would you like the opportunity to renegotiate your bargain with this Zardoz?
You can call Zarda. Only one of the heralds can call a demon.
Let's just say, given
You can't
the
call him.
opportunity,
Even I can't call him.
given the opportunity, would that be agreeable to you?
Perhaps I have a little. I'll renegotiate with him. Give me an insight check. Actually, yeah, you don't have to.
I want to do it. Because it's not great. 7.
Yeah, he wants to renegotiate with his demon in good faith.
Can I pull him aside?
So yeah, you think that he can absolutely, completely negotiate with his demon and it'll be fine.
Can I pull him aside out of the earshot of everyone else?
6'3" or the guy?
No, the guy.
The guy. How can I help you? I'm trying to hang myself.
I'm not out of. I'm out of.
Yeah, you're out of
earshot,
earshot. Yeah.
Especially like ear listening amulets.
Yeah, you're out of range.
Cool. So those heralds that you mentioned that can remove or renegotiate your bargain. Let's say that we had contact with them, and we could do that for you. Would you provide information to us that could help destroy those heralds or prevent further destruction from those heralds?
Well, destroying the heralds is it's a tricky business. They are just about as hard to kill as me.
So how would you do it?
Well, I mean, we tried everything. I think one of the heralds really have the power to kill themselves. So the only thing I think that I know can kill them is the eye. But you don't want to be anywhere near where the eye is.
Is that the device? Salam had mentioned a device that could be used to contain or destroy the heralds. Is the eye what she was referring to?
Oh no, the eye is what the heralds summon. And he starts laughing. But what Salam mentioned a device?
I have this orb that she gave me, and I present it, but out of arm's reach.
Yeah. He's like, the headpiece, and he makes a grab for it.
No.
So go ahead and roll me dexterity to see if you can snatch out of his grip. You didn't roll very
Mother.
well. I rolled pretty bad too, so.
Great, that's great. Oops. That is a 9.
Alright, so you're able to just barely he grabs for it, but he's pretty jacked up these days. So you're able to kind of keep it away, and he's like, oh, wonderful. Well, that can suppress the influence of the heralds and stop the eye from returning to its plane, but that's just the headpiece. So you need the staff, and that was, where was that? That was in the...
Yeah, he likes staffs.
I'm a big fan of staves.
Rude. Staves. you need the staff to channel its power, and that's been in the Weeping Colossus for years.
The Weeping Colossus?
Where might the Weeping Colossus be?
It was an old fire cult used to be down there. I hear they actually had one of the heralds go in there, but anybody who touched the herald couldn't get to the staff, I don't think.
So that's all you know about the heralds. Is there anything else you can tell us before we kill you?
Well, you will need to find the staff and the Weeping Colossus, and that can prevent you from being attacked by the eye that it summons if they are allowed, which, as a sage, your chances aren't good. And if they are allowed to summon the eye with the staff, you can prevent it from returning to its plane.
You should ask what the eye is. What is the eye?
For when we summoned it the first time, it retreated and was able to preserve itself for another day.
And the eye is just an obelisk. Or
No, the eye is what the obelisk summons. So the heralds formed an amulet that had water, earth, all the elemental heralds. And they create an eye that is forged of as we say, pure power. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a mix-up and we got the wrong power. So, of course, it is quite bent on domination, and whoever wields its power, though, whoever has the amulet, gains godlike abilities. Unfortunately, that was our elf queen at the time, and she immediately tried to murder us. Unfortunately, can't be murdered, and I ended up killing her, but unable to really remove the amulet from her domain, because the amulet cannot be killed.
Well,
long story.
What a mess. What a fine Kevin.
Well,
and I
that's why
have
ended up
on a more personal note, before my party and I kill you, you seem to be a man who has lived very long and dealt with all things arcane. Is there anything
Yes.
you can teach me as a wizard that might be able to aid us in our further adventures?
He said, give me persuasion. Give me persuasion on that.
Oh, you're a little hard on.
Can I? Okay. I don't think I've used it yet. I think I want to reuse. I gotta
Use your fate point.
I might use my fake point if this 11.
You might want to use your fate point.
All right, I don't have it.
Yeah,
What
it's
the
in there
chips?
somewhere.
This is the only one that I have. Come on. 20.
All right, so he says, over the years, I've done a little bit of work on just some problem solving that if the eye is summoned. The only challenge that it can retreat so easily to its initial plane and not be destroyed, leaving the amulet intact, because that's where it channels its power. But I thought if someone could keep the eye in this domain, it would be nice to cut it off from its power. And make it vulnerable for a slight time. And I have a little formula for that. And he goes back into his house and he comes out with like a really, really old kind of cracked up scroll. And he gives it to you, but it's like, read the scroll, but only if the eye is summoned. And if you can stop its retreat. And he gives it to you.
All right.
And it's the...
Kind of hoping for a cool fireball, but that works. That works. Or guillotine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Second level spell.
This is a second level.
It's
stop
it's,
an
it's a
eternal.
12th level
It's a fourth level. It's a scroll, so the scroll, if it is used properly, will perform its function, disintegrate. So you can like read it, and it won't work because there won't be a thing, and it'll just still be there. But it itself is imbued. We actually were just reading about scrolls earlier. So yeah.
So you said
itself
use
is
it if the eye is summoned.
if the eye is summoned and its
It will
escape is cut off.
Contain the eye. As
It will make it vulnerable to be attacked. Yeah.
Well,
That sounds like fun.
it was good talking with you.
Well, time.
let's-
I hope you guys can kill me if you.
Yeah,
if you
any
please. Fantastic.
as we walk back, kind of talking out loud. Any last requests? Any?
What's on your bucket list? What's on your bucket list?
Haven't you always just wanted to fight a bunch of demons before you die with some strangers that you just met?
Oh, well.
I know
Are
it's
you
on my
proposing
bucket
that?
list.
Are you proposing that we can summon my dearest old friend
No,
Zardock?
No, we were proposing you come with us. It's a fight.
If you help us
I
destroy the
cannot
eye,
leave my domain. If I could have left this place, I would have done so many years ago. But unfortunately, summoning a dark power and having to kill one of your best friends is to prevent her from becoming a monster as well. Something that qualifies for banishment.
I say we summon Zardock.
I mean, if anything gets him to stop talking, I'm fine with that.
Still talk to the amulet. Be like,
Spare someone
most
else
annoying
the
NPC.
trouble.
I'm helping him with the noose as he's
Yeah,
talking.
man.
I'm like, anytime now, let's kill
I'll
this guy.
I'm even considering getting my hands dirty on this one.
The most annoying NPC ever made.
so I think we talked to the amulet.
So my only question
Yeah.
is, rather than summon Zardock, do the amulets not just win in a fight and just like rip the life force out of them and end it?
Not if Zardock has
I mean, we can try.
I might just summon Zardoz.
I mean,
I might just bring him out.
I think maybe we just let Zardoz in the beast.
Let them figure it out.
we said we'd bring him back for you to negotiate. We
Some
didn't say
fucking shit.
deuces
Killing
and then
demons.
bounce.
Well, we could summon him, instantly kill him,
The
if
family
he's out of
business.
him, and then...
That's true. And then we just unleashed a greater demon on the world.
Well, we tried.
I mean, it is a demon. They like to negotiate, but I have a feeling when you negotiate with a greater demon, you negotiate in good faith. You don't try to fuck them over or you die pretty quickly.
I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't know if this is. I don't know, guys.
Just have banishment on tap. That's all you gotta do.
I don't know,
We
guys.
should kill this guy, I feel bad.
Let's just kill him.
I mean, you guys can try to kill him. It's not
Well,
gonna
we
work.
can't kill
You don't
him.
know. You have to use the
The
ambulance.
So
ambulance
I'll-
could rip the life
I'll-
force
I
out
know
of
they
him.
ask-
can.
And say, it appears that this gentleman before us has struck some form of a deal with this Zardoz that we spoke of earlier.
Ah, yes.
Is there any way that we can just bypass all that nasty great demon business and just, you guys can feast on this supposedly immortal man?
Sir, I'm very, very sorry to disappoint. Unfortunately, he was part of our forging, and his power forged us. So, unfortunately, it is difficult for us to work against some of our own energies, and we are unable to. We can certainly try, sir, but I have not. This is uncharted ground, as they say, sir.
So I'll relay that information to everyone
Yeah.
and let them know. They don't think they can do it.
Alright, time to chat to Zardoz.
What's
What?
the worst that could
And I'll just say,
Now,
just
what
like-
if we cut his
we
head off,
want
kick
to
it across,
negotiate
bury it
with
underwater,
Zardoz, let him know that
under
we come
the
to
ocean,
negotiate in
take
good
his sword
faith.
off.
Yes.
Or, well, we are merely the conduit to allow this gentleman to negotiate his own deal in good faith. We are not part of this negotiation. We are just facilitating this negotiation.
Well, sir,
This is a bad
I
idea.
can
No, we shouldn't do
mention
this.
that to Zardoz,
No.
but he is a greater demon, so to some degree
And are not
he will
you a
be...
greater herald?
Well, we are, sir. But to some degree, as you might say, he is a very busy man, and he would be more amenable to 2 deals instead of 1, as they say.
We should-
What,
I think we should
perchance is there something you may be able to offer him?
You're gonna
I
get
have a feeling because
possessed.
he's gonna make some deal with him that like releases the power of the ambulance. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.
Okay, are we within earshot of whatever fucking Talkie McTalks a lot?
The crazy guy, yeah.
Are we in earshot of him right now?
I think he's probably off trying to kill himself somewhere.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, no, that one's gonna work.
He has not
I do
realized
fear
the futility.
That, I don't think summoning a greater demon amidst our other concerns right now, given
Would I have to
that
agree
your
with you?
your brother almost just killed us, I feel like greater demons maybe
Well, we killed my brother. It was my brother's friend.
brother's friend.
Okay, that's not.
The
you
greater
know, he's
demon
not
might be out
I'm
of
not
our
related
league.
to Silas.
But I do also fear that if we don't kill him, this immortal being will attack us with the power of a demon.
Yes.
So
Which
if
might
we're
be a
gonna
little bit out
not
of
kill
our
him, we should get out of here very
Let's
quietly.
stealthily get out. I stealth.
You know what?
Alright, roll stealth. Are you guys gonna try to run?
Oh, we can't
Wait,
kill
did we
this
decide
guy,
we
can
can't
we?
talk to the demon without summoning it?
Well, no, we can't.
We
no,
can't
we
talk to
can't.
the demon without summoning it.
If we
And
talk
Once
to
we
it,
start talking to
we
it,
already know he's gonna have a make a sketchy deal.
demon
'cause
probably won't
you
let
roll
us go
badly.
without.
I rolled just fine because I'm going to offer the 4 of you up as trade. I'm scot free in this either way. It's up to how you 4 want to pan out.
What do we want to
you-
do?
The Herald, I guess I may have missed, you probably will have to make a more difficult... It will be more difficult for your Herald to get the demon's attention with only 1 bargain. So, you can maybe... I don't want to rail track it too much, but yeah. It's up to you guys how you want to handle it.
1 bargain meaning, if he's
For
staying by
that
himself.
for that guy. So you can say, hey, this guy wants to bargain with you.
But then we would have to bargain as well to get him to come out.
Well, what are we bargaining?
Yeah. So I guess you
Can
can
we bargain
you can
for
say
him to kill the ambulance?
So, like, the guy said he has a bargain to make with Zardoz. So he probably has something he wants to offer in trade. But that will maybe get Zardok's
Can I
attention.
offer
What
the
will more
DM?
likely get his attention is if more than one bargain come up to him.
I like to offer our DM.
Now, is this the type of demon that likes material possessions or souls?
Yeah, that's the. Who knows anything about, like, can people do an
Yeah,
arcana
can we do an
check
arcana
to...
check?
Well,
I
the
can't.
heralds
Zardoz?
know him quite well,
Mhm.
right? He
The
created
heralds,
them.
yeah, know a little bit. So then he can say, Zardok is, like we mentioned, slightly interested in power. Material possessions, he will be considerate of, but some sort of item of strength, or he may ask you to retrieve something for him,
Or not.
for example, within a certain time frame. Those are, or you can operate as his agents for a certain amount of time. You
That's very
can
powerful.
receive some of his power in exchange for, well, then your souls in that case. And they kind of like, you can sense it, like they kind of psychedelic, like, you know, psychically glance at the guy who's like trying to hang himself. And he's like, shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
But you may be able to, depending on how beneficent he is feeling and how well you negotiate, because there's nothing a demon loves more than striking a good bargain, sir.
I am not the one to negotiate with this creature. That's what I know. That's all I know in this godforsaken world.
Do you
not let
relay
me
any of
negotiate
this to
with a
us?
demon.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys the full
Yeah.
details of it. I'll let
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, if we offer to just go retrieve something for him, that seems feasible.
In exchange for him
In exchange for
letting
our-
this poor guy die.
Yeah.
And maybe our souls.
No,
The
our souls are not on the
for
table.
power.
What I don't want to be is beholden to this gentleman if he says, do this in a time frame.
Yeah.
Now, what I'd be willing to offer him is, regardless of what it is, he takes possession of whatever the next magical object I find is. Add a little mystery, some spice to his life. I don't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is. It could be the most legendary staff that's ever existed in the world. It could be a magical ring that gives him a little bit of defense.
Did you just add loot boxes to D&D?
Yes.
And God damn it, Jake.
So you gotta pay 1,000 crystals to get.
We can speed it up.
And we'll tantalize him with a little
Demon
whimsy. Spice up his daily routine. The unknown is what's
Yeah.
great about this.
We can certainly communicate that to him, sir. He may find that agreeable, along with negotiating with his old, and there's kind of this disdain, this old servant.
Alright, let's talk to the demon.
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's see
so
if it's
give me
Yeah.
We're
a
not finding weird.
Give me
Negotiating.
give me a
Might
D20.
be Han Solo
Just-
again.
I'm gonna say
Traveling
Arcana
in the
check.
market.
I'm sorry, guys. I need to go.
Yeah, I know. It's late.
Yeah.
Here, we're almost done. 2 seconds.
Okay.
So my Arcana would be a 14.
Okay. And then now give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion I can do.
Yeah, so that's enough Arcana, and then let's see if he's interested in the deal.
Persuasion is a nat 1.
Whoa! Of all times, haggling with the demon.
Oh man, feels good. So suddenly, a well-dressed man in he has just like two very like tasteful like kind of like horns sticking out from his forehead, but he's just like well trimmed, well dressed, and he kind of like looks like your like friendly uncle. But he has like the sharpest, like cleanest robes, like pure white, pure gold, like everything is gold. And he says, "Which one of you idiots dies first?" And that's where we're ending the session.
I point to the dog with an eye patch.
I point to the man in the gallows.
The guy who's trying to die.
To the DM.
The DM. Well, take care, everybody.
Just
No,
like
I'm
voice
persuaded.
in the sky, and I'm like, that guy.
All right, later, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.